The time, 1934. The place, a street in New York City.
Kidnap Doc Savage? Are you crazy?
You're not paid to ask questions, Leading. Just do it.
But better guys than us have died trying to nail Doc Savage, and he's put so many crooks behind bars, the news rags call him a one-man army fighting for justice.
Do-gooders make me tired.
He's more than just a do-gooder, Howard. They say he spends his whole life getting in the way of guys like us. No wonder anybody plotting something tries to put him out of the picture first.
Forget that. Now just figure out how to get it. You know what he looks like?
Yeah, I think so. I've seen his mug in the papers a couple of times. His skin and hair look like metal. Yeah, bronze. They say it got that color from him gallivanting all over the world looking for adventure.
Well, then he shouldn't be hard to spot. I've heard he's well over 6 feet tall with muscles like Hercules.
I don't know, Howard. He don't seem big so much. More like powerful.
That's just a front. They say he was raised by scientists on a special program trying to turn him into a physical and mental Superman. And he learns secrets from Hindu mystics, South Sea pearl divers, African hunters, and he keeps in shape with daily exercises of all of it. Super eyesight, super hearing, doing mathematical formulas in his head. You know, a lot of hooey.
What if it worked?
Never mind that. Now just figure out how to get it.
Okay. But where do I find him?
I don't know. And I've heard he works out of a fabulous headquarters in the highest skyscraper in the city. But he isn't seen in public often.
No wonder.
Maybe if you tail one of his sidekicks, they'll lead you to him.
Oh, yeah. Them 5 guys who always pal around with. One's a big-shot chemist. One's a hot-shot lawyer.
Right. And another's a crack engineer. And one's a famous archaeologist. And the last, they say, is an electrical genius.
Hey, what if they get in the way when we try to put the snatch on Savage? Do we bring them all?
Nix. All we're getting paid for is keeping Savage out of the way for a while.
Who wants him out of the way?
Never mind. You want your dough, earn it. Now get out of here. And don't come back until you've got Doc Savage.
Here comes Monk Mayfair, the ape-like chemist.
Lasers!
Ham Brooks, the sword-wielding lawyer.
Take that!
Rennie Renwick, the two-fisted engineer.
Holy cow!
Long Tom Roberts, the adventurous electrical genius.
Pipe down, you guys.
Johnny Littlejohn, the fighting archaeologist.
I'll be super amalgamated.
And their leader, the greatest adventure hero of the 1930s, the man of bronze, Doc Savage. The Variety Arts Radio Theater, by special arrangement with Condé Nast Publications, presents The Adventures of Doc Savage, a new series of radio adventures based on the novels by Lester Dent. Today, Kidnapped, Chapter 1 of the fantastic story, Fear Key.
Good morning, Mr. Savage. Nice day.
Yes, it is, officer.
Out for your afternoon constitutional?
In a way.
Well, I suppose with all the adventure you see, a night's peaceful walk is something of a luxury. Taking your mind off work, that is.
You could say that.
Well, I won't be taking up any more of your time. Good day to you, Mr. Savage.
Oh, officer, is this your wallet on the sidewalk?
What's that?
I say... What? Gas!
Let me through. I'm a doctor.
Badora, what's going on here?
This man has been stricken with heart failure.
But I was just talking to him not more than 10 seconds ago.
Maybe, but we've got to rush him to the emergency hospital to save his life. Give me a hand.
Say there's luck. There's a taxi at the curb.
Yeah, convenient.
Into the cab with him now.
Thanks, officer. I can take care of him from here.
Nothing doing. I'm going along with you.
Is that necessary?
This big bronze guy is Doc Savage, no less. And I'm going to see that he gets the best. Driver, head for the emergency hospital. When we get there, I'll make a call to Doc Savage's headquarters and tell him his sidekicks what's happened.
You won't tell nobody nothing, Flatfoot. Okay, Shorty, take off. You know where to go.
Right.
When that cop piled in the car, I figured we were sunk, Leaking.
Well, we don't need to worry about him now. Where we dumped him, he'll have a nice, long walk home.
Hallett is sure paying enough to have us pinch this bronze guy. Any idea what the shyster has up his sleeve?
Nah, and I don't care.
Lucky Hallett's office is near the service elevator. I don't think I could drag this big guy much farther.
Here we are. Drop him. I'll open the door.
Who's that?
Me! Leaking!
I thought I told you not to come back until you got Doc Savage.
What do you think this is, shyster? Whitewash?
Holy. It is Doc Savage.
Well, you wanted him, didn't you?
Yes, but how did you do it?
I dropped a fake wallet on the street with a gadget in it that threw gas in his face when he opened it. Put him down there, Shorty.
I never thought you'd get him that easy.
Yeah, but he sure is as big as they say. I'm sweating like a stuck pig.
You're always sweating. That's why they call you Leaking. Leaking?
Never mind that. So, Hallett, here he is. What do we do now?
I'll tie him up and keep him like we were told. I'll get some rope.
Okay, Shorty, you can go.
Thanks, Leaking. I don't want to be around when the big guy comes too.
He ain't so much.
Just the same. See you later.
Here's some strong rope. Let's get him trussed up before he comes around.
You're a little too late, gentlemen.
What the...
Oh, he's got me by the throat.
Oh, me too. Put us down.
Just as soon as I find out what weapons you may have.
Hey, you're shaking us apart.
That's what I wanted to find. An automatic and a .38.
Okay, so you got our guns. Now what?
Now, gentlemen, you're going to take a little nap on the sofa.
Ah.
I hope you have hard heads. And you conveniently supplied me with a rope. There. That should hold you for a while. Monk, you and Ham get over to the Chandler building, 20th floor. Office of a lawyer named Hallett. Hallett and another man named Leaking have tried to abduct me off the street. You'll find them trussed up on the office sofa. You know what to do with them. Now, let's find out what this is all about. Come, gentlemen. I knocked your skulls together just hard enough to keep you out for only a moment.
Oh, what hit me? No, Doc Savage. It wasn't a dream.
Not at all. Now, I want some answers. You went to a great deal of trouble to seize me off the street. Why?
I thought that wallet gag was foolproof. I figured that gas would keep you out for days.
The gas never had any effect on me in the first place.
What?
You underestimate my powers of observation. When you dropped that trick wallet, I saw you.
You mean you picked it up knowing it was a trick?
I picked it up most carefully, if you had noticed. There were two logical things to suspect, a poisoned needle or gas. To avoid a needle, I didn't open the wallet in the usual manner, and to checkmate the gas, I merely held my breath until the vapor had dissipated.
But why?
Why pretend to be overcome? Merely to find out what your game was. Now I repeat, why did you seize me?
Hallett told me to. I don't know why he wanted you, but he gave me a C note to do it.
Well, then, we'll question Mr. Hallett.
What happened?
He's wise to us, Hallett.
Not completely. I want to know why you paid Mr. Leaking here to abduct me. Won't talk, eh? Well, if you won't talk, out the window you go.
No, wait. No. No. Wait. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything.
That's better. All right, Hallett, let's hear it.
We were hired. We were to get $10,000 for grabbing you and holding you, where no one could find you for 2 weeks.
So someone wants me out of circulation for 2 weeks. Who?
I don't know.
Window is still open.
Fountain of Youth. Fountain of Youth Incorporated hired me.
And just who is Fountain of Youth Incorporated?
Well, it was handled in a roundabout way. I got a phone call with the proposition to seize and hold you. The party who called said there was no need of us ever seeing each other. In fact, it would be better if we didn't. The only name I got was Fountain of Youth.
Why did this Fountain of Youth Incorporated want me held?
I asked that, but they said there was no need for me to know.
Does Fountain of Youth have an office?
Yes, room 1402, Queen Tower building. I had their phone traced, too. It's the same address.
So, you were curious about this mysterious Fountain of Youth also.
Do you blame me for trying to get a line on them?
Well, thanks for the information, Mr. Hallett. Two of my assistants, Monk Mayfair and Ham Brooks, will be up here shortly. They'll deal with you. Oh, by the way, Mr. Hallett, Ham Brooks is a lawyer himself, and I'm sure he'll take measures to see that you're disbarred. That should be Monk and Ham now.
Think again, Savage. Get them hams up.
Hey, Shorty.
I come back 'cause Leaking forgot to pay me. Then I hear this Savage guy pumping you, so I had me rod ready.
Good work, Shorty. Cut us loose.
No, wait. Just give us your knife. Keep that gun on Savage.
Right. Here.
Quick, Leaking. Cut the rope.
Yeah. Watch Savage, Shorty.
Don't worry, he's covered. Back against the wall, Bronze Man.
I don't think I plan to stick around, Shorty.
Get back, Savage. I got this gap pointed right at your chest.
Wait. Doc Savage always wears a bulletproof vest. Aim at his head. His head!
Too late!
Shoot him again!
He's heading for the window.
He's jumping!
Where'd he go?
Was there a rope or something in here he could have used to slide down to the ground?
Funny stories. Besides, the only rope was the one he used to tie us.
It'd take a fly to stick to that wall.
I always did hear this Doc Savage ain't quite human.
Shut up. Search the office. That bronze guy's got to be here somewhere.
Yes?
This is a Fountain of Youth Incorporated. Has our little project been concluded?
Well, sorta.
I don't understand.
Oh, we got Doc Savage, but he escaped.
Carniff! How could you be so stupid?
But you're an
Never mind. Come to the office of a Fountain of Youth. I know you are aware of its address. If I'm not here to give you mindless dose orders, there will be an envelope under the blotter on my desk with the directions inside. See that you do not bungle them as badly as you've already done.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Since you are so curious about our organization, I will tell you my name. It is Santini.
Just Santini.
That is enough. Come to Fountain of Youth, now!
Who is that, Hallett?
A guy named Santini from Fountain of Youth. He said we're to get over there right away.
Why didn't you tell him what he could do with his kidnapping idea? Trying to nab Savage is worth more than we're getting.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Leaking, there's a $10,000 bonus waiting for us at the Fountain of Youth.
Well, that's different. Let's set sail.
What about Savage? Where'd he go?
I'll forget about that for now. It won't be hard to find him again. Come on.
Look, there's two guys coming up the stairs. Holy cow, what a pair.
One of them looks like a gorilla. And check out the clothes on the other. What a dude.
They're the two that Savage said would be coming. I've seen their pictures in the papers. The ape-like one is Monk Mayfair. The fashion plate is Ham Brooks, the lawyer.
They're coming to this office.
Get back inside. Get your rods ready.
Here's the office, Shyster. Doc says they'd be tied up inside.
Well, what are you waiting for, you dumb missing link? Open the door.
Look out!
I guess they ain't tied up after all.
Any sign of Doc?
No. Got your super machine pistol?
Of course. I always carry it.
Loaded with Doc's anesthetic mercy bullets?
As always.
Oh, good. Let's give it to him. Think we got any of them?
No, you hairy freak. And why'd you shove your face through the door so fast?
Oh, who told me to? Besides, I wanted to see if Doc was in there. And if you keep calling me names, I'll shove you out there with them red hots and get a shot at you.
Where could Doc have gone?
I suppose you dope it out with that great legal brain of yours while I try to wing one of them birds.
Wait! What's that rolling down the hall?
Tear gas! Run!
Where?
Down the stairs! If you'd have kept your noisy trap shut, I would have heard them throw that crybaby canister.
One of these days, I'm going to see if there's a man under that hairy hide. Listen, upstairs.
They're getting into the freight elevator. Come on! Here's the door on the floor. Give me your cane.
Why?
I'm going to use the sword inside it to loosen the lock on the elevator door. If we can pry it open, the car will stop between floors.
Let you ruin my sword? Let me do it.
Okay, Shyster, but get to it. I'll shove on the door. There they go. Hurry up. That did it. Car stopped a couple of floors down.
They could still shoot up through the grilled roof of that cage. Keep back.
Well, what do we do now?
Let them go.
Doc! Where'd you go, Doc?
I slid from the office window down to the window below, Monk, using the collapsible grappling hook I always carry. Now let the doors close.
But, Doc, how come?
If we tried to jump down on the cage, they'd have the advantage, Ham. Besides, I want to find out what this is all about. And since I think they'll head for the Queen Tower building, we'll trail them there.
What's at the Queen Tower building?
The office of the Fountain of Youth, Incorporated.
What the deuce is the Fountain of Youth Incorporated?
The company that hired them to abduct me. Come on, I have a cab waiting downstairs.
Here we are, Queen Tower building.
Hey, Doc, look at that funny little duck over there. Dressed as spiffy as the shyster here. Derby, spats, red sash. Did that mustache. Must be 3 inches long on each side. Head skinny as a pencil. Pretty elegant.
No more elegant than the pearl-handled automatic he's pulling out of his coat.
Look out!
After him!
He's heading into the building.
He's running out the back to the alley.
There he goes. Get him.
No use. He's got a car waiting.
That was some machine. Looked like it had bulletproof windows and solid rubber tires.
Back inside. Let's find out who he was. Oh. Doorman, who was that?
That was Mr. Santini, sir.
And who is Mr. Santini?
He's the president of Fountain of Youth.
Mr. Santini seems to know us by sight.
That doesn't mean anything, you accident of nature. Doc's picture often appears in newspapers and magazines.
Nobody but you would think of that, shyster.
The thing that puzzles me most is why these men should be so anxious to get us out of the way.
Perhaps the office of Fountain of Youth Incorporated will yield an answer.
Perhaps. Let's try it.
Here's the office, Doc. Should we barge right in?
Wait a moment.
Using your super hearing on the door, huh, Doc?
Seems to be no one inside.
Locked.
That's never stopped us before. Got your lockpick, Doc?
In my pocket. Come on.
Boy, some digs. Leather furniture, rich carpeting, even the latest automatic typewriters and dictaphones.
That door over there says it's Santini's office.
Wow, even plusher. This Santini does all right for himself. Look at the size of that desk.
More interesting is the crumpled envelope on the desk.
What's so interesting about that envelope, Doc?
It's moist, Ham, as if crumpled by a perspiring palm.
So?
One of the fellows who grabbed me was called Leaking, probably because of some affliction which makes him perspire a great deal. Only a man who sweats freely would have damp palms on a day like this.
So those guys have been here.
Let's take a look in the desk.
Hey, Doc. Looks like someone wrote something on the top sheet of this pad of paper and then tore it off.
Wait a moment.
Got something on your equipment vest that'll bring out the impression of the writing?
I think so, Monk. We'll try this liquid.
Looks like blood.
Iodine vapor. It brings out impressions left by pencil points.
It's coming. Let's see. Kel Avery, due in on 8 o'clock plane from Florida, must be prevented from communicating with Doc Savage. Grab Avery and hold for me. Santini. Boy, now we're getting places.
But Leaking and Hallett beat us here, Doc. They have the message, too.
What are we going to do?
It's 5 o'clock. That gives us 3 hours before the Florida plane bearing this Kel Avery arrives. Let's look around a little more.
We know that thrilling sound, Doc. It means you found something really interesting.
What is it, Doc?
Some very intriguing files, Ham. Look at the names on them.
Fascinating.
For the love of mud! They look like a who's who of all the town's money bags.
Yes, an index of the richest men in New York City. And there are other files of wealthy individuals listed by states.
Every rich man in America. Wonder what it means.
Interesting. The files give not only the man's name and the probable size of his fortune, but also his age and the state of his health.
I think I get it, Doc.
Yes.
Get what?
I'll explain, stupid. The phone.
Do we answer it?
I've only heard Hallett's voice for a few moments, but I think I can imitate it.
The office of Fountain of Youth, Incorporated.
Perfect, Doc.
Cale Avery can be found at 1120 Fish Lane.
But I thought Kel Avery
was on a plane bound for New York? You are mistaken. Cale Avery is at 1120 Fish Lane.
Who is this? Connection isn't very good.
You never heard my voice before, Mr. Hallett.
Then who are you? You know my voice.
You take care of Cale Avery. I'll explain who I am later.
Who was that, Doc?
It was the strangest voice, Monk. Indescribably young and joyful.
What'd he say?
He seemed to know all about this business, Ham. He knew enough to call Fountain of Youth. He knew who Hallett was. He knew about the Florida flight. And he said that Kel Avery is not on that plane.
Who is the mysterious stranger who seems to know so much about the abduction of Doc Savage? What is the Fountain of Youth Incorporated? And why do they want Doc and his aides out of the way? Don't miss The Hanging Man, Chapter 2 of Fear Key, next time on The Adventures of Doc Savage. Fear Key was written by Lester Dent and adapted for radio by Roger Rittner. Featured in the cast were Daniel Chodos, Robert Towers, Art Dutch, Douglas Kohler, William Irwin, and Bob Farley. Also heard were Michael McConaughey, Scott McKenna, Glenn Shaddix, and Bob Lyne. Sound effects were created by David Surtees, assisted by Jerry Williams. Production assistance by Samantha Kimmel and Doris Christie. Engineering by Denny King. The Adventures of Doc Savage is produced and directed by Roger Rittner and is a presentation of the Variety Arts Radio Theater.
Quick, Rennie, use your fists. Knock down that door.
Here it goes. Holy cow!
He's hanging by his neck from the rafters.
Here comes Monk Mayfair, the ape-like chemist.
Lasers!
Ham Brooks, the sword-wielding lawyer.
Take that!
Rennie Renwick, the two-fisted engineer.
Holy cow!
Long Tom Roberts, the adventurous electrical genius.
Pipe down, you guys.
Johnny Littlejohn, the fighting archaeologist.
I'll be super amalgamated.
And their leader, the greatest adventure hero of the 1930s, the Man of Bronze, Doc Savage. The Variety Arts Radio Theater, by special arrangement with Condé Nast Publications, presents The Adventures of Doc Savage, a new series of radio adventures based on the novels by Lester Dent. Today, The Hanging Man, Chapter 2 of the fantastic story, Fear Key. crooked lawyer named Hallett has attempted to kidnap Doc Savage. But the man of bronze turns the table on the lawyer and his henchmen and learns that they have been hired by a mysterious company called Fountain of Youth Incorporated to keep Doc and his 5 aides out of the way for 2 weeks. While on their way to investigate the offices of Fountain of Youth, Doc, Monk Mayfair, and Ham Brooks are shot at by the company's president, a man named Santini. Inside the offices, Doc discovers that Santini has sent Hallett and his crooks to waylay one Kel Avery, who is supposedly on a plane bound for New York. He also discovers a secret file containing the names of the wealthiest men in America. Just then, a mysterious phone call interrupts their search, and an unknown voice declares that Kel Avery is not on the New York plane.
Who was that, Doc?
It was the strangest voice, Monk, indescribably young and joyful.
What'd he say?
He seemed to know all about this business, Ham, and he said that Kel Avery is not on that plane bound for New York.
So, where is Kel Avery?
At 1120 Fish Lane, he said.
Fish Lane? That's out in Flushing Marshes. That neighborhood ain't so hot, Doc.
Yes, Monk, I know.
Who are you calling, Doc?
Our offices. Johnny, Rennie, and Long Tom are there, and I have a job for them.
Oh, boy. Everybody's getting into the act. Things will start brewing now.
Yes?
Johnny?
Undeniably, Doc.
Monk and Ham told you of the plot to abduct me?
Completely. The perpetrators have been suitably chastised, I assume.
Yes, but they got away.
How unfortunate.
Perhaps not. In any case, we have reason to believe they are going to try the same thing on someone named Kel Avery, who may be at 1120 Fish Lane. You and Rennie and Long Tom head there and investigate. Monk and Ham and I will be here another 10 or 15 minutes.
Will you join us at this piscatorial thoroughfare later?
Yes, we will.
Exactly what are your present whereabouts?
Queen Tower Building, room 1402.
Excellent.
Why?
Are you going to get a surprise?
Was that Johnny I heard laughing, Doc?
Yes. Strange. Johnny doesn't go in for such playful mysteries as the usual thing.
Maybe using all them big words like he does finally made him dizzy.
Perhaps. In any case, let's continue going through these files.
Yes, a cabinet full of files on the wealthiest men in America bears further scrutiny.
Especially when they got all the details about their health in them, too.
Here's one that's quite dog-eared with thumbprints all over it, as though it's been used more often than the others. Ham, take a look at this.
Thackeray Hutchinson. Name rings a bell.
Heard of him?
Yes, now I remember. Thackeray Hutchinson is one of the wealthiest bankers in the country. The government once tried to convict him on illegal practices in connection with a public utilities project, but a battery of clever lawyers got him off.
Well, we'll investigate him more thoroughly later. I think we found all we can here. Let's go.
Shall I get a cab, Doc?
I don't think that'll be necessary, Monk. Look there.
Hey, how'd your roadster get parked at the curb?
I'd say it was delivered by that lovely vision in bronze standing next to it, no doubt.
Pat! Hey, Doc, it's your cousin. Hey, Pat! Pat Savage!
Hello, Monk. Ham? Hiya, Doc.
I say, Pat, with that bronze hair, smart frock, and chic hat, you sure make the other New York women look rusty.
Yeah, you sure inherited all this Savage family looks, Pat. But I thought you was up in the North Woods shooting polar bears or something.
Well, I got tired of the woods. Too tame. I decided I needed some adventure. So I headed back for New York to hook up with Doc and his 5 assistants again. Johnny told me I could catch you here if I hurried.
So that's what Johnny was laughing about.
We'll talk on the way uptown, Pat, but I'm afraid we'll have to drop you at the office until we get a matter settled.
Oh, a matter? Sounds interesting.
There's a plot afoot, Pat, or rather some other cookies are plotting something.
Well, I'm going along.
It's dangerous, or maybe.
Oh, Doc, Pat's as good a scrapper as any of us, except maybe you. She certainly held her own in our skirmish with the Phantom Werewolves last year.
And having a golden-eyed bit of bronze loveliness along won't hurt none either.
All right, she can come along.
Great. It'll be like old times having you back with us, Pat.
The love of hunting trouble must run in the savage blood. Gentlemen, I yearn for some action.
Well, here it is.
It's that team, and then 2 birds, Hallett and Leaky.
And about 10 other hoods.
Into the car, quick.
All at once! Let him have it! Lane is where Doc said to come, wasn't it, Johnny?
Eminently correct, Rennie.
Well, this is it, but it ain't nothing but an unpaved rut bounded by wood and tar paper shacks.
Long Tom, what was the address again?
1120. That's where this Cal Avery's supposed to be.
There it is, over there. That joint sure ain't much. Shingles scabbing off the roof, tin cans nailed over knotholes, old clothes wadded in place of missing windows.
We needn't wait on Doc for this. All we have to do is ascertain whether this Kel Avery is in attendance.
Let's take it.
I agree.
Say, look.
What?
Here in the mud by the stoop. Footprints. Seems to have been only one guy walking in and out of here.
A logical assumption, judging from the minuscule dimensions of the depression. Although a person of male gender is not necessarily indicated.
Huh? Johnny said you're right, but it could have also been a girl.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go inside.
An absence of response.
Take a look through the keyhole, Johnny.
I'll be super amalgamated.
What is it?
Let's get inside, fast!
How come it's only when there's action that you speak in one-syllable words, Johnny? Stand back.
Rennie, it never fails to amaze me how you can destroy virtually any door with one blow.
Oh, this one was nothing. Only 2 inches thick.
Inside. Look, somebody hanging by his neck from the rafters.
Revolting.
Horrible.
Damn bad.
How long's he been hanging there, do you suppose?
Well, if the ceiling weren't gone and the attic exposed, he never could have gotten the heights enough to do it.
Well, he got enough. Look at that long white beard. Almost without any color at all, like it'd been bleached.
It just looks that way because his face is so purple from the throttling effect.
Oh, I don't know. He looks really old.
Come on, you guys, get him down. He may still be alive.
Better keep your hands in sight, gentlemen.
Holy cow.
Wow, I'll say he's alive. Just stand where you are till I can get out of this noose. Now, just stand still. I'm going to search your pockets.
Take it easy, fellas. This guy really took us in.
Now, what have we here? Funny-looking handgun.
Careful of those old-timer. They may look like handguns, but they shoot like machine guns.
And they have hair triggers.
Well, no matter what they are, you won't be needing them.
Oh, no, you don't.
Rennie, don't!
Ah! Wow. I haven't seen a speedier move than that, even from Doc himself.
Now, why didn't Santini, Hallett, and Leaking come instead of sending you gentlemen?
Are you Kel Avery?
Are you trying to kid me?
I said, are you Kel Avery?
No, sir. And you should know that, being in Santini's gang.
Wrong, Whiskers. We're not working for Santini.
Save that guff, sir, and don't believe you can talk fast enough to fool old Dan Thunden.
Dan Thunden? That your name?
As if Santini hadn't told you.
I tell you, we're not with... Shut up!
Sir, would you condescend to answer a simple interrogation from me?
What's your question?
How old are you?
131 years.
Oh, that's a dang lie. Nobody could be as spry as you are at that age.
I agree.
Doc!
What? Your hands up, sir.
I don't think so.
He's almost the equal of Doc.
You're sure no ordinary man, sir.
Quick, outside.
There he is.
Doc will catch him.
Look out, he's got another gun. Down.
Quite wish to see to be a walking arsenal.
What's that? Somebody else shooting.
It's Pat. She stayed in the car as a lookout.
That six-gun of hers will give him something to think about.
Look! Thuden's heading for the street.
He's hailing a cab.
Damn it! If you don't believe I'm 131 years old, look up the records on the skipper of the Senior, a schooner that sailed from New York in 1843.
Sorry, Doc. He got away while I was reloading. reloading my pistol.
That's all right, Pat. I have a feeling we'll see Dan Thunden again before this business is over.
And what a business. I've only been with you half an hour, and I've already been in 2 fights.
2 fights?
Take a look at Doc's sedan. Santini, Hallett, Leaking, and their gang jumped us. They stopped our car by blocking the street with a taxi and ran out with guns and cut loose.
Holy cow.
I aged 10 years wondering if Doc's sedan really was bulletproof.
And was it a good feeling when those bullets bounced off?
What about Santini's gang?
Well, they had cars set for a fast getaway. They were gone before we could get straightened out and follow them.
You're an awful bad company, Pat.
I love this company.
Here it is in the shipping record.
Let's see. Yeah, the schooner Sea Nymph sailed from New York in 1843. According to a manifest, the skipper was a man bearing the name Dan Thunden, whose age at that time was exactly 40.
Computation would indicate that Captain Dan Thunden of the Sea Nymph would be 131 years of age if he'd lived to this day.
Ha! Nuts.
To whom are you attributing the qualities of a hard-shelled fruit?
Not to you, Johnny, but it's silly to think that any guy 131 years old could be as spry as that old white-whiskered gent we saw in Fish Lane.
Holy cow.
What now, Rennie?
The shipping records go on to say that the voyage in 1843 was the Sea Nymph's last. She was lost at sea and never heard from again.
We have about an hour to spare before heading for the airport to meet this Kell Avery, who was ordered seized by Santini.
You think they'll go through with the attempted capture, Doc?
Why not? They don't know we intercepted Santini's orders to Hallett and Leaking.
That's right.
Well, what about the hour we have to spare? How about some dinner?
I think we'd be better advised to learn what this is all about.
Don't you guys ever eat?
Not when there's danger to be met.
How are we going to find out about what this is all about, Doc?
Recall the file of wealthy men in the offices of Fountain of Youth?
Yeah?
One of the files seemed to be more used than the others. Remember the name, Ham?
Thackeray Hutchinson.
Correct.
Ooh, are we going to ask this Thackeray Hutchinson a few questions?
Yes, Monk, we are.
Ooh, what swanky digs. He has the entire top floor penthouse, I hear.
I never did like this Hutchinson. He's an orphan robber.
A successful orphan robber, Ham, if his domicile is any indication.
May I help you?
You're the butler?
I am.
I'm Doc Savage. We're here to see Mr. Thackeray Hutchinson.
Mr. Hutchinson is not in.
Don't lie to us.
In the library.
What is this? Damn you, get out of here.
My name is Savage, Mr. Hutchinson. We've come to call upon you.
I know you're Doc Savage, and some fools think you're a big shot. You may buffalo some people, but you won't get to first base with me. Now, get out!
We've called on you to learn what you know of the Fountain of Youth Incorporated.
Never heard of it.
That is not true.
If you don't get out of here, I'll call the police.
The police are here, Mr. Hutchinson.
Where?
We are the police. Each of my men and myself holds a commission in the New York Police Force. Here are my credentials. Mr. Hutchinson, you are under arrest.
What?
The Fountain of Youth Incorporated has made repeated attempts to kill me within the last 2 hours. You may be connected with the concern. That means a trip to jail.
You're crazy.
Accessory to murder or attempted murder is a criminal charge, and all your money won't keep you out of prison.
Oh, what do you want to know? I'll tell you.
That's better. Now, Mr. Hutchinson, what is your connection with Fountain of Youth Incorporated?
I don't know. I'm only a customer.
Customer?
Oh, this is horrible. If only Fountain of Youth hadn't gotten into trouble. They had the secret, and now they've got in trouble, and it'll be lost.
Go on.
I was to pay them $1 million for the secret. It was cheap at the price. A select list of other rich men was to receive the secret, too. We've been selected carefully because of our wealth and other qualifications.
Wait. This isn't making sense. What is this secret for which you and other wealthy men were willing to pay $1 million each?
They've got a man here. They said they had to be sure we didn't tell the secret or plot against them to get the weeds.
Fountain of Youth has a man here? One of Santini's gang?
Yes.
Who is he?
spill your insides, will you?
Doc, the butler.
He's one of Santini's men. Block that door.
He's making for the terrace.
After him, Rennie.
He's heading for the light.
Don't let him jump to that next landing.
Give away, Barry.
Look out, you crazy fool. That ledge is too narrow.
That's what you think. Oh.
Boy, that's a long way down.
Did you get him, Doc?
No, Ham. He won't be able to tell us anything.
Neither will Thackeray Hutchinson. He's dead.
Yeah, that makes it tougher.
How so, Mom?
Well, we haven't seen all the guys in this Fountain of Youth gang, Pat. Some of them might be around waiting for this Kel Avery's plane.
Looks more like autograph grabbers and photographers.
Well, that would mean a celebrity's arriving, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but them Fountain of Youth guys could be in disguise.
Pat,
Yes, Doc?
can you change your appearance in a hurry?
Well, if I had some dark glasses, I could.
There are some in the car. Get them, Long Tom.
Right.
Ham, lend me that snappy topcoat of yours.
Huh?
You're about Pat's size. Come on, shed it.
I don't get it, Doc.
I don't think that Fountain of Youth crew got a good look at Pat this afternoon. If we alter her appearance slightly with the coat and the glasses, they might not recognize her.
The idea being that nobody's to think I'm with you.
Exactly.
Here are the glasses, Doc.
Thanks, Long Tom. Now, Pat, keep your eyes open and be ready to grab any loose ends that we let slip.
Right.
Here comes the plane, Doc.
Good. Let's see if we can find out why so many people are here.
Say, Doc, I just talked to a reporter. Maureen Darling is coming in on that plane.
Maureen Darling, the picture actress?
None other.
If I remember my gossip sheets, Maureen Darling is no big shot. Just played opposite a couple of well-known actors. I wonder why all the fuss.
Oh, haven't you heard, Ham? Maureen Darling was kidnapped in Florida yesterday, but she escaped. The papers yesterday were full of it.
Sounds suspiciously like a publicity stunt.
Perhaps, Ham, but that would explain why all the photographers and the autograph hounds are here.
But some of those guys may belong to the Fountain of Youth gang.
Yes, Long Tom, they might.
Hey, well, the plane's in, and the crowd's moving toward the door.
I've lost sight of Pat. I wonder where...
Here's Kel Avery!
What's that?
Kel Avery, over there.
Help!
There's a fight! Come on!
Come on, let's go. Break it up. Let's go.
Are you hurt, Avery?
My name's not Avery. I'm Joe Smith. I'm a reporter on the Morning Comet. These thugs all of a sudden jumped on me, yelling something about me being Kel Avery.
All right, you mugs. What's this all about?
Some guy hired us to jump this bird, Kel Avery, when the plane came in and beat him up. We got $50 apiece.
How did you know who Kel Avery was?
The guy pointed him out to us.
What did this man look like?
Short, pudgy, with a long, skinny mustache.
Santini!
We fell for a trick to divert our attention.
But why divert our attention?
Doc! Some people just told me that during the fight over here, another gang grabbed Maureen Darling and another woman and carried them off in a car.
How did this happen, Rennie?
They slugged the bodyguard this Maureen Darling had along.
What beautiful dopes we turned out to be. This fight was to get our attention while the gang grabbed Maureen Darling.
But I thought they were after Kel Avery.
Where is this bodyguard of Maureen Darling's, Rennie?
Over there. There he is, Doc.
Boy, he is some bodyguard. Built almost as well as you, Doc.
Are you Kel Avery?
Mister, my name no Kel Avery. My name DeClema.
You are Maureen Darling's bodyguard.
Maybe was her guard. Maybe it is she won't want guard who is guard not so hot. No?
I don't get it. We're here to keep Santini's gang from grabbing Kel Avery. Instead, we get tricked away to a fight that's supposed to be Kel Avery, and meanwhile, Santini grabs somebody who ain't Kel Avery.
But that is it. Men do take Kel Avery.
What are you saying?
Yes, that is what I tried to tell you. Maureen Darling is Kel Avery.
What does the Fountain of Youth gang want with Kel Avery? What is the mysterious secret that meant the death of banker Thackeray Hutchinson? And who is Dan Thunden, who claims to be 131 years old? Don't miss The Disappointing Parcel, Chapter 3 of Fear Key, next time on The Adventures of Doc Savage. Fear Key was written by Lester Dent and adapted for radio by Roger Rittner. Featured in the cast were Daniel Chodos, Robert Towers, Art Dutch, Kimmett Mustin, Bill Ratner, Scott McKenna, Glenn Shaddix, and Robin Riker. Also heard were Michael McConaughey, Bob Farley, William Irwin, and Bob Lyons. Sound effects were created by David Surtees, assisted by Jerry Williams. Production assistance by Samantha Kimmel and Doris Christie. Engineering by Denny King. Adventures of Doc Savage is produced and directed by Roger Rittner and is a presentation of the Variety Arts Radio Theater.
I'll just take that parcel from you, Mr. Santini. Back up against that wall. Now we'll just have a look at what we're all really after. What? Why, this ain't the right stuff. This is nothing but plain old swamp grass.
Here comes Monk Mayfair, the ape-like chemist.
Blazes!
Ham Brooks, the sword-wielding lawyer.
Take that!
Rennie Renwick, the two-fisted engineer.
Holy cow!
Long Tom Roberts, the adventurous electrical genius.
Pipe down, you guys.
Johnny Littlejohn, the fighting archaeologist.
I'll be super amalgamated.
And their leader, the greatest adventure hero of the 1930s, the man of bronze, Doc Savage. The Variety Arts Radio Theater, by special arrangement with Condé Nast Publications, presents The Adventures of Doc Savage, a new series of radio adventures based on the novels by Lester Dent. Today, The Disappointing Parcel, Chapter 3 of the fantastic story, Fear Key. The mysterious business of Fountain of Youth Incorporated has caused the death of a banker named Thackeray Hutchinson, who claimed the Fountain of Youth possessed a secret for which the wealthiest men in America would each pay $1 million. After unsuccessfully attempting to kidnap Doc Savage, the Fountain of Youth gang, headed by a man named Santini, attempts to waylay Kel Avery, who is due in New York on a plane from Florida. Also interested in Kel Avery is one Dan Thunden, a spry old man who claims to be 131 years old. When Doc, his 5 assistants, and cousin Pat Savage attempt to foil the airport plot, they are tricked away from the plane by a ruse, only to find that a motion picture starlet named Maureen Darling has been grabbed by the Santini gang. Upon questioning the movie star's bodyguard, Doc and his aides are startled to hear that Maureen Darling is Kel Avery.
Maureen Darling and Kel Avery are the same person?
Yes, Kel Avery, or Kelmina Avery. She don't use that name not so much. The name Avery, she's not so good on the movie picture, no? Maureen Darling, much better. So the girl, she used the name of Avery, not so much.
And you're her bodyguard.
Yes, my name's Clema.
Well, you may be built almost as well as Doc Savage here, but you're sure a flop in the bodyguard business.
Doc!
Doc!
What is it, Johnny?
Your cousin Pat isn't around here anyplace.
Rennie, you said Santini's gang made off with 2 women?
Right, Doc.
DeClima, did Miss Avery have any female traveling companions?
No, just DeClima.
Then the second woman must have been Pat. Come on.
DeClima, he go along?
How about that, Doc?
Of course. We want to ask him some questions.
We catch them, and DeClima, he break them into little pieces.
Witnesses said the gang hustled the 2 women into a blue Phaeton and headed toward New York.
Hit it, Rennie. Now, DeClima, what do you know about all this?
Me, I not know so much.
Well, tell us what you do know.
Yesterday, I read about it in the papers. The kidnap what is tried on Marine Darling in East Florida.
Call her Miss Avery, so there'll be no confusion.
Ah, yes. I'm in East Florida, then. I go to her, to Miss Avery. I am once the fighter, not so hot. And now, the Nick, I pick up where I can. I fight, I shoot. I'm plenty to tough guy, me.
Don't brag. You're with guys who are tough now.
But you are not so good in the head, no? You run to the wrong fight while them fellas, they get Marine Darling. Miss Avery.
Say, you funny-talking bundle of beef. Are you hunting a scrap?
Stop it, Monk. DeClima, you went to Miss Avery after you heard of the attempt to kidnap her. You offered your services as a bodyguard?
That's her. That's the idea. I put up the talk and tell her that me, I am the one she needs. So she hired me to watch out for her.
Ha! Fine job you done.
What else do you know?
Me, nothing.
You know nothing about Santini, Hallett, and Leaking, or a white-bearded man named Dan Thunden, who claims he's 131 years old, or a company which calls itself Fountain of Youth, Incorporated.
No, never heard of any of them, no.
Ha! What an information mine you turn out to be.
DeClima, he not like you, not...
Brotherly affection is returned.
Look, up ahead.
In the ditch by the road. A woman!
I say, quite disheveled, swabbed in mud and roadside grime.
Coming over.
Say, even with all that mud, she's a dish.
It is Marine. Miss Avery.
Are any of you Doc Savage?
I am.
Good. Keep going. Well, step on it.
Now, Miss Avery, what happened?
They threw me out.
After they went to all that trouble to seize you?
They thought I was my maid, and the other girl made them think she was Kel Avery.
What other girl?
The one who rushed to my side when the trouble started back at the airport. She acted as if she was one of my party and made them think she was me. When she got the chance, she whispered to me to begin to scream, and they might throw me out of the car. Then she said if they did, Doc Savage would be following, and I should tell him my story. So I screamed, and they threw me out.
What did this other girl look like, Miss Avery?
She was beautiful. She had bronze-colored hair, just like yours, Mr. Savage.
So it was Pat.
I was coming to New York to get your help.
Did you tell anyone that?
Nobody. Why?
Because Santini and his outfit learned you were coming to me and tried to kidnap me and put me where you couldn't find me. Or that's how it seems.
Santini?
Ever hear of him?
No.
Or Fountain of Youth, Incorporated?
No.
What about Hallett or Leaking?
Never heard those names that I recall.
What about a white-haired man named Dan Thunden who says he's 131 years old?
Oh.
So you have heard of Dan Thunden?
Yes. He's my great-grandfather, according to the letter I got from him. My great-grandfather on my mother's side, the letter said.
What else did his letter say?
It said for me to take the package that was with the letter and guard it with my life, to be sure not to open it, and to come to Florida, and I would be worth $50 million within 30 days.
Holy cow.
You obeyed instructions?
It sounds silly, but I did. You see, the press agent for the movie company I worked for thought it would be a good idea to get some newspaper space. The company even paid me a salary to go to Florida as instructed. The press agent was going to meet me there, but before he came, I was kidnapped.
Was that the press agent's idea, Miss Avery?
The press agent doesn't even know where I am. He hadn't even gotten to Florida. I was scared. Those men threatened to kill me unless I got the package.
How did you extricate yourself?
As a matter of fact, I didn't escape. They turned me loose to get the parcel, but instead I came north.
Why come north?
To put the thing in your hands.
Where is the parcel now?
In the plane on which I arrived, back at the airport. I sent it by airmail knowing it would come on the same plane.
Why that precaution?
I was afraid to carry it. Maybe I'm not very brave.
You're brave enough. How about it, Rennie? Have we caught up to Santini's car yet?
It's no use, Doc. They've given us the slip. Should we head back to the office?
Yes. Perhaps some research in our library will shed some light on all this.
Dan Dundon is sure a lick-splitting freak. Imagine a kink 131 years old being able to hop around like he can.
If he is indeed that old. We have only his word for it, Monk.
This is some office. How high up are we?
86th floor, Miss Avery. Doc's private high-speed elevator makes the trip seem short, though.
Long Tom, Rainey, Johnny, Ham, here are the addresses of some of the wealthy men whose names were in that file in the Fountain of Youth office. Their names were there for some reason, just like the banker's Thackeray Hutchinson. Go investigate them.
Okay, some of these birds should give us information.
But be careful. We don't want a repetition of what happened to Thackeray Hutchinson.
Yeah, that guy got what was coming to him.
What happened to him?
He got shot between the eyes.
Oh.
What about Pat, Doc?
We haven't a lead to go on, Rennie. We'll have to see what turns up. Now get going.
Me, I think I go out. Not for long.
Why, De Klima?
Business.
Very well. Monk.
Yeah, Doc.
Follow De Klima.
With pleasure. And boy, do I hope this guy gives me some excuse to tie into him.
Mr. Savage, you don't trust De Klima?
Just a precaution, Miss Avery, and it gives Monk something to do. He feels neglected if he isn't doing something.
You have a remarkable group of men.
Now for you. It isn't advisable for you to leave here, since Santini and his crew must know about this office. You can use the telephone and have fresh clothes sent up from a shop. There's an excellent one in the building.
Thank you. I assume you made arrangements for my airmail package to be delivered here?
It'll be here in not more than 20 minutes.
The Klima, he get 2 new ones, see? My other 2 ones them feller at the airport, they got.
Bought 2 new revolvers, They aren't easy to purchase here in New York.
For the feller with the money, anything's easy. At a hock shop, I get them. And I no need license for to carry them either.
Here's the newspapers you wanted, Doc. The Monk went into a hock shop, stayed a while, then came back here. He didn't do nothing else.
Call the police, Monk. Have them have that pawnbroker's business license taken away for selling firearms to unlicensed people.
Right. Any word from Pat?
None.
I'm worried about that other girl, Pat. What do you think they're doing to her?
Probably trying to buffalo her into telling her where the box your great-granddaddy, Dan Dundon, sent you can be found.
I'd give up that box in an instant if it would get her freedom.
Mailmen with the box should be here shortly.
An armored truck is pulling up in front of the building, Doc. It must be bringing a package.
You told them to use an armored truck?
Of course.
Uh-oh. Something's happening down there.
What?
Come, look. The postal carriers are heading toward the front of the building, but 3 guys are standing up in that open touring car nearby.
They're throwing something at the postal carriers. They look like glass bottles. Look, they're breaking, and the postmen are falling down.
Yes!
One of the men in the touring car is heading toward the postman.
He must be holding his breath. Doc, can't we do something?
We'd never get down there in time, Monk.
The man grabbed the package. Now he's running back toward the touring car, and it's taking off.
There goes the package.
Oh, them damn fella, they sure smart guys. I go after them.
Wait.
I could hit him with my super machine
No,
pistol.
Monk.
Doc, have you gone nuts? Wait a minute. You pulled a fast one. What was it?
Have a look. Down there.
Say, it's Johnny's coupe, weaving in and out of traffic. But I thought you sent him to interview those wealthy men.
The slip of paper I gave him actually told him to tail the mail truck. If anything happened, he was to use his own judgment.
Will this lead us to Pat?
Let's hope so, Monk. Meanwhile, let's go down to the garage.
This truck, she's some buggy. Bulletproof glass and an armor plate, yes.
Right. And the tires are filled with sponge rubber instead of air, so they can't be shot out.
But it looks like an ordinary delivery truck.
Yes, Santini and his gang will be less likely to recognize us than if we used one of my usual cars.
Isn't it about time to get Johnny on the shortwave?
Yes, Monk.
You can contact your men from this truck.
Yeah. Everybody's tied in with 2-way radio sets, and we can all talk together if we want.
Johnny, come in.
Right here, Doc.
Where are you?
Going north on Broadway. So far, there's been no difficulty.
Have they seen you?
Emphatically negative.
Johnny means no.
Deviating eastward over the bridge to Long Island.
What's going on here?
That you, Rennie?
Right, I just turned on my set.
Santini has stolen Miss Avery's package from the mail carriers. Johnny's tailing them. Head for Long Island and join him. Meanwhile, what did you learn when you interviewed your rich man?
My rich man is full of coop, Doc. According to his maid, he got a telephone call a little while before I arrived. He acted excited, grabbed some money out of his private safe, snatched a few clothes, and jammed them into a suitcase. Then ran out the door. That's the last they saw him.
Sounds like he was tipped off you were coming.
You said it.
The men who appropriated the package are now traversing an unpopulated section of Beach Road, Doc.
Be careful they don't see you, Johnny.
You're cautioning me?
Doc, it's obvious Santini's gang warned the rich men to skip out. What puzzles me is what got him to beat it so fast.
It's not so strange, Rennie. The newspapers are on the street with the news of Thackeray Hutchinson's death. Fear of a similar fate is enough to cause those wealthy men to do what they're told.
Santini's sure taken plenty of trouble to keep us from learning what this is all about. Whatever it is, it must be big.
Doc, the car is stopped on an old road near the beach. They're getting out.
Where are you stopped, Johnny?
About 15 miles beyond the highway junction.
You've been traveling faster than it seemed. It'll take us 15 or 20 minutes to get there.
I'm going to trail them on foot.
Do that, and watch your step.
The way them mail carriers caved in. Sweet, I call it.
It won't be sweet if they croak, Leaky.
Don't worry, Shorty. The gas just made them senseless for a while.
Where's Santini?
Oh, we're in that shack with the rest of the mob.
What's the shack doing here? There ain't even summer cabins this far out.
Yeah, it's pretty remote, all right. Come on.
Who is it?
Santa Claus. What do you think?
Did you get it?
Sure, Santini. We got it.
Bueno, give it to me.
Say, what happened to your chin, Santini? You're all cut.
That girl is a cat. I thought I had her tied securely in the corner there, but she kicked me in the face and almost got away. Now come, we open this package.
Pat, I gotta tell Doc about this.
Unless you're bulletproof, you better stand right where you are.
Funding.
Right you are. And I know all about your bulletproof vest, so don't try anything or I'll shoot you in the head.
So you are working with them?
No, sir. I'm working on them, not for them.
Then you and I had better work together.
Old Dan Thunden is working for himself. I didn't know who you was when I met you before, but now I know you're one of Doc Savage's outfit, and I don't want any part of you.
Listen, what we have to
No
do...
more jawboning. We're just going to do some watching and listening.
Veramente! Look, all of you. This is it. This is what we search for. And that old Gotondon even sent his great-granddaughter a map showing the island's whereabouts.
You sure it's the island?
See, here it is. In the Caribbean, 500 miles from Florida, and out of the sea routes of any modern shipping.
So, now that we have the package, what do we do with the girl?
We no longer need her. Shoot her!
The knife won't make as much noise.
Very well, just get it done.
Quick, get into the shack before they harm my granddaughter. Ready?
I suppose.
Hold it! I couldn't miss you all from here.
Funding!
Up against the wall there, all of you. You too, Little John. Now, I'll just take that map. I never should have sent that to my great-granddaughter, but I didn't know but that we might find use for it. I guess all concerned can find the island if need be, except Doc Savage and his scuts, and we don't want them in on it. Now, shall we all have a look at what we're really after? What? Why, this ain't... Grab him!
Wait! Even you and the Doc Savage's man are no match for my men, eh, Thundon?
Maybe. But take another look in the box, Santini. You haven't got what you think you got.
What do you mean?
That ain't the stuff. It's just plain old swamp grass.
Swamp grass? Licking, give me the box. He's right. This isn't the stuff. What have you done with the weeds, Thundon?
This here gal must have made a change. What did you do with that package I sent you?
Miss Avery, don't tell them a thing. But whatever you do, don't tell them a thing.
Silence! Leaking! Untie her and see what she has to say.
Right. Hey, where'd she get that gun? Exquisite. You completely overlooked the firearm Mr. Thundon dropped in the melee, Santini. Now I'll just remove this young lady's gag and restraints.
Oh, God, I came to New York for excitement. Man, oh, man, am I getting it. Now, Thundon, why did you mail that package?
Why, I needed money. I was going to meet you in Florida and tell you the whole story, but these gentlemen must have got the telegram you sent, telling me you would go to Florida. Or did you send such a message?
The message was sent.
I never got it. That explains why I did not meet you in Florida. Did Santini send a man down there?
No more!
Hold up, getting away! He's out the door! Holland got away, boss. The tall guy is shot.
Forget him. I shoot him many times in the heart. He is dead.
Boss, I move we shake this place. Things are getting too tough. The skinny guy you shot is one of Doc Savage's outfit. And that means hell. Savage will move the earth to get the guys who rubbed out one of his friends.
Shorty's right. Kidnapping the bronze guy was one thing. Killing one of his men is another. The U.S. is going to be too warm for us.
You birds are just getting wise to yourselves.
Shut her up.
So, what do we do now?
I have it. Buena. An excellent idea.
I hope so.
It is the one great idea I have. We will take the seaplane and go to the island. Doing that, we will be away from this Doc Savage. We will get a supply of the weeds and operate from outside of the country.
What about the girl?
We take her along. She is the one who knows where the other box is. We make her tell where that parcel goes to. If we do not find what we want on the island, then the girl will be very valuable indeed. We will have her to trade for it.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, boss.
See, what is eating you?
When we reach this island and find a storeroom, do we get to use the stuff ourselves?
Well, of course. See.
Wow, I feel like a guy who's just been promised $1 million.
Now, everyone, quickly, to the seaplane. We must make our escape before Doc Savage finds out about this. Bring the girl. We are off for Fear Key.
Will Santini make good his escape? What has happened to the spry old Dan Thundon? And what steps will Doc Savage take to avenge the murder of his aide, Johnny? Don't miss Island of Death, Chapter 4 of Fear Key, next time on The Adventures of Doc Savage. Fear Key was written by Lester Dent and adapted for radio by Roger Rittner. Featured in the cast were Daniel Chodos, Robert Towers, Bill Ratner, Kemet Mustin, Robin Riker, Marcia Kramer, Bob Farley, Michael McConaughey, Douglas Kohler, William Irwin, and Glenn Shattuck. Also heard was Bob Lyons. Sound effects were created by David Surtees, assisted by Jerry Williams. Production assistance by Samantha Kimmel and Doris Christie. Engineering by Denny King. The Adventures of Doc Savage is produced and directed by Roger Rittner and is a presentation of the Variety Arts Radio Theater.
Holy cow.
What is it? Oh, a skeleton.
Well-dressed skeleton. Khaki trousers, boots, aviator's helmet.
But it takes years to turn a body into a skeleton. And those clothes aren't even weather beaten.
Wow! A freshly made skeleton.
Here comes Monk Mayfair, the ape-like chemist.
Lasers!
Ham Brooks, the sword-wielding lawyer.
Take that!
Rennie Renwick, the two-fisted engineer.
Holy cow!
Long Tom Roberts, the adventurous electrical genius.
Pipe down, you guys.
Johnny Littlejohn, the fighting archaeologist.
I'll be super amalgamated.
And their leader, the greatest adventure hero of the 1930s, the man of bronze, Doc Savage. The Variety Arts Radio Theater, by special arrangement with Condé Nast Publications, presents The Adventures of Doc Savage, a new series of radio adventures based on the novels by Lester Dent. Today, Island of Death, Chapter 4 of the fantastic story, Fear Key. Doc Savage and his 5 aides are on the trail of the Fountain of Youth gang, headed by a criminal named Santini and a crooked lawyer named Hallett. Santini's gang has kidnapped Doc's cousin, Pat Savage, under the mistaken belief that she is one Kel Avery, who knows the whereabouts of a mysterious package from an island in the Caribbean. Also involved is a man named Dan Thunden, who claims to be 131 years old and who apparently knows the secret of the package. During a struggle in a secluded beach shack, Doc's aide, Johnny Littlejohn, has been shot and left for dead. Santini, realizing he may incur the wrath of Doc Savage for the murder, takes off by seaplane for the mysterious Caribbean island. As today's chapter opens, Doc Savage, his aides, Kel Avery and her bodyguard, DeClima, are winging over the Caribbean in one of Doc's super speed planes.
Thunderbolts. Doc, I think Johnny's coming out of it.
Thunderbolts.
What's that, Johnny?
Thunderbolts. In my head. In my chest.
Take it easy, pal. You'll be out of it pretty soon.
Monk, where are we?
Over the Caribbean. Good many miles off the southern tip of Florida.
The last thing I remember. Folding up in that Long Island beach shack. Say, aren't I supposed to be dead?
Nah, your bulletproof vest saved you.
Of course, Doc designed to protect us only from an occasional bullet. For the look of your suit, you got a whole gun full shot at you. So you're probably stumped.
But you apparently were conscious enough to hear everything that was said around you.
Doc! What do you mean?
You talked when we found you. Maybe you don't remember it.
Doc shot some stuff into you to make you rest. But in the meantime, you told us the whole story.
What whole story?
That Santini and Thunden fought over the parcel they had stolen from the postal couriers. That they found a map to an uncharted island in the Caribbean. And that they were both very disappointed to discover that the parcel contained only swamp grass instead of what they really wanted.
Which was?
That we still don't know. But your description of the map gave us enough to go on to follow them.
I recall now. It was like a dream. Say, how badly hurt am I?
A few cracked ribs. Doc says you can navigate all right, unless you jump around too much.
Well, I'll be super amalgamated.
Well, that means he's all right. A really sick man couldn't think of such words.
Ham, you're here too?
Indeed, along with the rest of the crew, plus Cale Avery and DeClima.
But not Pat.
No. Apparently Santini still has her. Thinking she's Miss Avery, of course.
What about the patriarch with the alabaster locks?
Dan Thunden. Believe it or not, he hired one of the fastest planes in New York and lit out for this same part of the world. A bird named Windy Allen owned the plane and flew it for him.
How did you acquire that knowledge?
Windy Allen lived up to his name. He was talkative.
Yeah, he was bragging around about what a swell wad of coin he was going to get for flying the old goat down to the Caribbean.
Dog checked the airports as a matter of routine and got the info.
So we're over the Caribbean.
Yes, Johnny, and we'll want you to point out the exact spot on the map that Santini indicated when we get closer.
Doc, I just got an SOS.
Where's it coming from, Rennie?
The bird isn't giving his position, just the SOS. And from the sound of his fist, he's sending the letters as he picks them off a code chart.
Put them on the speaker.
Right.
Whoever it is doesn't know the code. Let's try the directional antenna. Either northwest or southeast of us.
Can't you tell near?
Oh, hello, Miss Avery. No, the directional loop only shows the line of greatest intensity of the radio signals. The sending station is on a line drawn through our present position from the northwest to the southeast. But the only way we can tell the exact position is to take another bearing when we've gone a few miles.
The radio SOS. I wonder...
Wonder what, Mr. Reynolds?
Never mind.
Monk, get a map of the area.
Right.
Now, Johnny, where exactly did Santini indicate the island is?
Well, let's see. Well, I'll be super amalgamated.
What?
There's no island shown where Santini had his finger on the map.
Huh?
There may be an island there,
How so, Doc?
I got in touch by radio with the hydrographic office of the Navy. They looked over some old charts of the region for me, and it seems that some ancient maps do show the presence of a tiny island in this vicinity.
Does this island have a name?
Yes, Johnny. Fear Key.
It's queer the guy don't give his position. Anybody with gumption would know enough to do that. All he's sending is the SOS.
Whoever he is, he can't be far away.
Right.
How can you tell?
Well, when you're close to a station, very close, that is, there's a noticeable difference in the signal. You can almost hear the key close.
I say, come look.
What is it?
An island. Down there in the middle of nowhere.
Bank her around, Rennie.
Right.
Look how low it is. Can't be more than a few yards above sea level at any point.
That's probably why it isn't on any modern charts, Miss Avery. Can't be seen from a great distance.
Looks like nothing but mangrove swamp and jungle with a coral reef all the way around it.
Yes. Doesn't look like there's any place a boat could get through.
But there is a beach all the way around it.
Doc! Hey, Doc!
What is it, Rennie?
That SOS is being sent from here. It's coming from Fear Key.
And I think I see where it's being sent from. Look, a wrecked plane.
Yo, I see it. Half buried in that tangle of mangroves. Both wings are gone, and there's a big hole in the fuselage.
And the engine's gone.
Oh, no, there it is. About 20 yards further into the mangroves.
See anyone, Doc?
No, no one around.
There's a small lagoon. Shall I set it down?
Yes, Rennie. Be careful of the coral reef. It could slash the bottom right out of the plane.
Think that's Santini's ship, Doc?
I don't know, Monk, but one thing is sure. This is where we'll find the answer to this mysterious business.
Yes, he is. Boy, what a wreck. And look, bullet holes all over it.
Let's look around and see if there's any evidence of who brought it down here.
Holy cow.
What is it, Rennie?
Come here, look.
Oh, a skeleton.
A well-dressed skeleton. Khaki trousers, boots, aviator's helmet.
But it takes years to turn a body into a skeleton, and those clothes aren't even weather-beaten.
Johnny, you're the archaeologist. You're used to bones. Pull back some of the clothes.
Right. Nothing but bones, Doc. But
what?
They're so completely bare and white. Almost like they'd been polished.
Oh, a freshly made skeleton.
What do you make of it, Doc?
Take off the helmet, Johnny. Top of the head is caved in, as if it might have been fractured in the crash.
What?
You mean, Doc, you maintain that this is the pilot of that demolished aircraft?
Yes, and this proves it. Here's the flight plan of the craft. Pilot's name was Windy Allen. This is old Dan Thunden's flyer.
Well, I'll be super amalgamated.
Well, the radio in this crate's still warm. That means someone used it for sending. Probably up until the time our plane was sighted.
But who?
That, Monk, is the interrogative of the millennium.
There are tracks here in the sand which tell quite a bit. The ship must have been shot down by Santini and his crowd. Dan Thunden and his pilot must have been aboard. Apparently, Thunden escaped into the jungle, but the pilot got a fractured skull in the crash. Santini and his crew searched the ship and then headed off into the jungle.
How can you tell all that, Mr. Savage?
From the depressions in the sand, I'd recognize them from similar tracks we found around the beach shack on Long Island. And the varying depths of the depressions, plus their general direction, make it very clear.
To you, maybe.
But, Doc, what made the pilot left him like that? They couldn't have been here more than a few hours. What made him into a skeleton so quickly?
That, as Johnny said, is the question of the century.
So who used the radio?
Thunden, obviously.
Then the whole crooked crew, Santini, Thunden, and the rest, are on this island.
Exactly, Monk. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to locate Santini's plane.
How?
From the air.
And we better call the gang together and get going.
Right. Look, Tom, Ham, DeClima, come on back. We're taking off. I wonder if Pat's all right. If they've done anything to her,
I suspect she's all right, Rennie. Perhaps they still believe she's Kel Avery and can tell them where the real package is. Even if they know she's my cousin, they probably will hold on to her until the end, to use as a hostage if need be.
But what if they've found what they're looking for? Maybe this thing is at an end. In that case...
Yes, Rennie.
Well, here we are. What's up?
We're going to try to locate Santini's landing place. Everybody into our plane.
Doc, look! Up the beach about 200 yards.
Holy cow! Thunder!
Bomb in your plane.
What'd he say?
He said, there's a bomb in our plane.
Come on.
I don't get it. How could a bomb get in the plane? One of us was watching it every minute.
Here it is, in the cabin pocket.
Holy cow! 8 sticks of dynamite wired the flashlight battery.
And the clock set to go off in 10 seconds.
Come on.
Right now.
Get down, everybody!
What a throw!
Get down!
Holy cow, that was close.
Come on, let's get at the thunder.
Wait, Monk. Look back this way, down the beach.
Yo! Santini! He's jumping up and down like a madman.
He seems enraged that our plane is still in one piece.
Good thing he's so far away. I hate to hear the words he's spouting.
There goes Dan Thunden back into the jungle.
And Santini's beating it too.
Monk, Ham, DeClima, you stay with the plane. Johnny, you and Long Tom and Rennie get hold of Dan Thunden if you can. He and Santini are fighting each other, and I'd like to know why Thunden won't throw in with us. He warned us and probably saved our plane from that bomb.
What about you, Doc?
I'm going to try to do business with Santini.
What about me?
You stick with me, Miss Avery. You're a valuable commodity to Santini, and I want to know where you are.
Dang it, Doc. Don't you want some help?
You stick here, Monk. If anything happens to that plane, we'd spend the rest of our lives here. Come on, Miss Avery. Santini's heading straight across the island.
How can you tell?
There's still enough sand and swamp grass to make out his trail. And he seems to be following a definite path, one cleared through the jungle some months ago, judging by the shrubs that have grown up around it.
I wonder how far ahead of us he is.
Well, not too far, I'd say, judging from the occasional cry of birds as he passes.
Having me along must be slowing you down.
A little, but the island isn't very big. We'll catch up to him sooner or later. Wait. Santini is just up ahead. Listen. He's met the lawyer, Hallett.
Look at the gun strapped across his chest and all the cartridges on his belt.
They're obviously expecting trouble.
Then going on?
Yes? Come on. Looks like they're heading into a clearing up ahead. That was Hallett.
What happened to him?
I don't know. Let's get a little closer.
Look, Santini. He looks terror-stricken. What's he looking at?
I can't tell. Just a flat expanse of rock.
Where did that come from?
I can't tell.
Well, it certainly affected Santini. There he goes off into the jungle looking scared out of his wits.
Come on.
Aren't we going to follow him?
No, I want to have a look at that clearing. Interesting.
I don't see anything. Just a big flat rock about 20 yards around.
Yes, but Hallett's cry came from here, and so did that muffled moan. Where could he have gone?
The ground's giving way.
Hang on to me.
Mr. Savage, where are you? It's pitch black.
Wait a moment. I have a flashlight. There.
What happened?
We evidently fell through a trap door of some kind, built into the rock above. What triggered it, I don't know.
What is this?
A subterranean chamber, carved out over eons by underground waters.
Look, a passageway.
Yes. Let's see where it leads. Wait.
What is it?
There's a guard up ahead.
Did he hear us?
Apparently not. Wait here a moment. I'll take care of him.
You're not going to kill him.
I never kill anyone if I can help it, Miss Avery. Wait here a moment and be very quiet.
Won't he hear you coming?
I don't think so. I doubt if even you'll hear me. Now, wait here. That did it.
Oh, I didn't hear you come back. What did you do?
There's a certain spot on the back of the neck which, when pressed in a particular way, produces instant paralysis. The guard will remain helpless and speechless until I work on his neck again.
Fascinating.
Merely the application of medical knowledge to other necessities. Now, come on. Let's continue.
Mr. Savage, are you sure somebody didn't build this tunnel?
The formation of the stone strata on the walls is definitely the work of the elements. But yes, it has been widened in some places by human hands.
Do you smell something?
Yes, I picked it up as soon as we fell through the trap.
What is it?
I don't know. It isn't animal, nor is it the smell of putrefaction. It's baffling.
Look, there's a light ahead.
Yes, I'll turn ours out. Slowly now.
It's a large cavern with men digging.
Yes. 2 of them are Leaking and Shorty, 2 who tried to abduct me in New York.
Someone's coming.
It's Santini.
Ermate, stop making noise!
What's up, boss?
Che vergogna. What a shame. Our good friend Hallett has met with misfortune.
You mean Doc Savage got him?
Worse than that, my perspiring friend.
What you mean, worse?
There was a trapdoor in the rock of which we knew nothing. Hallett walked in advance and fell through. He screamed, and I saw what happened to him before the trapdoor closed again. It was ghastly. And after the trap closed, I could hear him moan. Si, senors. He is a skeleton by now.
It's that old Dan Thunden's work.
Yeah, the old rip. He sure caused us a mess of trouble. It might have been better if we hadn't tried to double-cross him in the first place. Giving him his half-split in the racket would have been better than going through what we're going through.
It is spilled milk, my dear Shorty. How were we to know that old Thundon would steal the package containing all of the product we had and mail it to this relative of his, Kel Avery?
Kel Avery. I'm still wondering if the girl we got is really Kel Avery or that Doc Savage's cousin.
We shall know the answer to that before long, Leaking, I promise you.
Why did old Dan Thunden send the girl the package in the first place?
It was undoubtedly his first step in an effort to persuade her to furnish financial backing for his project.
You mean old White Whiskers is trying to market the stuff himself?
See, that is my guess.
Did you destroy Savage's plane?
No! The bomb was in the plane, but Dan Thunden was watching unknown to me. He jumped out and yelled a warning. They get the bomb out in time.
Why'd Thunden do that? Is he working with Savage now?
No, he's just the game of a mastermind. He hopes for Savage and his men to vanquish us. Then he will step in and eliminate the Savage.
Give old Thunden credit. He's got a brain.
Been around 131 years. A guy that old ought to have some gray matter.
Enough of this. You had better resume the search. We must find Dan Thunden's supply of the material. That old devil has hidden it well.
Think it's in this mess of caves?
I'm not certain, but it is likely. It was in these caves that Dan Thornton dwelled for the 91 years since his ship was wrecked here in 1843. It is reasonable to think that he would store it here.
Well, you may be right at that. Hey, Doc Savage is in here.
How do you know?
Oh, the guard on the passage is laid out. He's paralyzed or something. Only that bronze guy could have done it.
Allegri, search the cavern. Find him.
There he is. Shoot!
Miss Avery, run. Follow me.
Which way?
Back along the corridor. Perhaps there's another way out.
Here's where we came in.
No getting out here. Keep going.
I think they're gaining on us. Look, up ahead. A door. Can you open it?
I don't find any handle or fastening. And the hinges are on the other side.
Can you break it down?
No good. Too solid.
What do we do?
I don't know, Miss Avery. It looks as though we're trapped. Will the Santini gang finally succeed in getting Doc Savage and his companions out of the way? Or will Dan Thundon intercede once again to save them? And what is the mysterious secret that instantly turns men into skeletons? Don't miss Terror Underground, Chapter 5 of Fear Key, next time on The Adventures of Doc Savage. Fear Key was written by Lester Dent and adapted for radio by Roger Rittner. Featured in the cast were Daniel Chodos, Robert Towers, Art Dutch, Bill Ratner, Kimmett Mustin, Marcia Kramer, Michael McConaughey, Douglas Kohler, and William Irwin. Also heard were Glenn Shattuck and Bob Wine. Sound effects were created by David Surtees, assisted by Jerry Williams. Production assistance by Samantha Kimmel and Doris Christie. Engineering by Denny King. The Adventures of Doc Savage is produced and directed by Roger Rittner and is a presentation of the Variety Arts Radio Theater.
Mr. Savage, what is it?
I don't know, Miss Avery.
Does your flashlight still work?
It's almost dead, but this I think we must see.
Oh, my God! The whole floor seems to be alive, flowing like a river.
Yes, flowing towards us. Here comes Monk Mayfair, the ape-like chemist.
Blazes!
Ham Brooks, the sword-wielding lawyer.
Take that!
Rennie Renwick, the two-fisted engineer.
Holy cow!
Long Tom Roberts, the adventurous electrical genius.
Pipe down, you guys.
Johnny Littlejohn, the fighting archaeologist.
I'll be super amalgamated.
And their leader, the greatest adventure hero of the 1930s, the man of bronze, Doc Savage. The Variety Arts Radio Theater, by special arrangement with Condé Nast Publications, presents The Adventures of Doc Savage, a new series of radio adventures based on the novels by Lester Dent. Today, Terror Underground, Chapter 5 of the fantastic story Fear Key. Doc Savage and his crew have trailed the Fountain of Youth gang to Fear Key, a remote island in the Caribbean. There they encounter a mysterious force that turns men into skeletons in a matter of minutes. After foiling the gang's attempt to blow up their plane, Doc and Kel Avery trail the leader Santini to an underground labyrinth and discover that the gang is trying to find a secret cache of some valuable substance left there years before by old Dan Thunden. Eavesdropping on the gang's conversation, Doc discovers that Thunden has double-crossed the gang and intends to sell the secret himself. But just as Doc is on the verge of learning more, Santini discovers his presence, and Doc and Kel Avery rush headlong into the darkened caverns in an attempt to escape.
Which way?
Back along the corridor. Perhaps there's another way out.
I think they're gaining on us. Look, up ahead. A door. Can you open it?
I don't find any handle or fastener, and the hinges are on the other side.
Can you break it down?
No good. It's too solid.
What do we do?
Wait, there's a small depression near the top of the door. Let me see if I can get my fingers through that narrow crack. Yes, there's a small lever on the other side. There. Quick, inside.
Can you lock it?
No, I don't see any lock, and there's nothing to bar it with.
Can they shoot through the door?
I don't think so. It's too thick.
Look, they know about the lever. There's a hand coming through the opening.
I'll take care of that with my flashlight. They'll probably try sticking a gun through next.
Yes, here it comes. A machine gun barrel.
Stand right next to the door. I don't think they can swing the barrel far enough to hit around us there.
We are getting nowhere this way. Give me a grenade.
A grenade? Will it knock down the door?
Undoubtedly. Come on. While they set it, we'll try to find another exit. That did it. They're through now.
What's up ahead? Looks like the pile is closing.
Yes. I wonder...
Oh, look. It's another skeleton.
Not just any other skeleton. It's the lawyer, Hallett.
Or what?
Yes, I can tell by the clothing.
But how did it get down?
Look up there. Trap door, just like the one we fell through. That's how he disappeared so fast from the jungle.
But that happened just a few minutes ago. How could it be a skeleton so fast?
That's a mystery we have yet to solve. But we can't wait here. Santini and his gang will find us soon.
How much farther can we go?
I don't know. These caverns could run for miles under the island. But perhaps we don't have to go very far.
Why?
See that indentation in the wall? It's deep enough for both of us to get into, out of sight of this passage. They just might pass us, unaware that niche exists.
Do you think it will work?
Let's put it this way. I think it's our best chance.
All right.
We got him now, Santini. We must have. You fool leaking. We do not know that. There may be another exit from this passage.
Haven't you explored all of this place?
No. On my first visit here, when we found the older man Dan Thunden, we did not pry into this place. It was not healthy.
Didn't old Thunden trust you when you was here the first time?
Yeah, Shorty's got a point. It seems like Thunden had been glad to see the first white man in over 90 years. He'd have fallen all over himself to show you around.
He must have been a shrewd old bird even then.
Enough! We must find the savage.
Wait. What's that?
I don't hear anything.
Ascoltate! Listen!
I'm getting out of here.
You mean you?
Run!
Mr. Savage? What is it?
I don't know, Miss Avery.
Does your flashlight still work?
It's almost dead, but this I think we must see.
Oh, my God! What is it? The whole floor seems to be alive, flowing like a river.
Yes, this explains a lot.
Your flashlight just went out.
Run, Miss Avery. Back the way we came. Feel your way as best you can. I'll be right behind you.
Whatever it was, it doesn't travel very fast.
Oh, but it's extremely dangerous nonetheless.
You know what it is?
I think so. But later, for that, we've got to find a way out.
Look, up ahead. Light.
Yes. Sunlight, unless I'm mistaken.
A hole in the ceiling and a ladder up to it.
This must be their main entrance to the cavern. It's a quick way out, but it must be guarded.
Do we have any choice?
I suppose you're right. Come on. No one around. Up you go.
Hey, here's the drunk guy.
Do not let him escape!
Hurry! Hurry, Miss Avery.
I can't. The ladder's shaking.
Shaking? Jump off, quickly.
Where?
Anywhere.
Too late. What happened?
Another trap. This time in the floor of the cabin.
Where are
Well, of some kind is my guess. About 8 feet around, 20 or so feet deep.
we? Look, up there.
It's the thug, Shorty.
Here's where I fix everything.
Wait, senor. Do not shoot them yet, huh?
Why the hell not, Santini? Almost winged him a minute ago.
Because of my short friend, I have a big idea. See, we will make this bronze man do a job for us. Oh, yes. A very special job.
Johnny, long time. Did you hear that?
Indeed, Rennie. A percussion with the characteristics of a firearm.
I say we look into that.
Doc set us to hunting old Dan Thunden, remember, long time?
And a fine lot of luck we've had. The old geezer gave us a slip like a ghost. We're wasting our time prowling around here. Let's see what that shot was.
A recommendation of Acumen.
The shot came from about here.
I think it was farther on, long time.
It was muffled, like it was fired in a hole or something. Let's look around and see if there's a pit or a cave in these rocks.
Well, I'll be super amalgamated.
What is it, Johnny?
I've been ascertaining our whereabouts. It was precisely here that we sighted Dan Thunden. The fellow traversed a convolutionary course prior to his evanescence.
What? I didn't get that last.
It means that Thunden prowled around a lot before he vanished.
You're going to choke on those big words someday, Johnny. Come on, let's keep looking.
Say, what happens if we run into that Santini bird instead of Thunden?
Got your super machine pistol with you, don't you, Rennie?
Sure.
Loaded with Doc's anesthetic mercy bullets?
Yep.
That's your answer.
Hey, there.
What the?
Over there. Dan Thunden. He flattened before I could line up my first shots.
There he is again.
He got the cover. Come on.
There he is again, over there.
He must know every inch of this island to get around like that.
That fellow has the agility of an acrobat.
There he is again, down by the beach.
For a lad 131 years old, he takes the cake. Now he's over there.
Hey, wait a minute, fellas.
What's the idea, Rennie?
Yes, elucidate.
I just got wise to something, fellas. Old Snowy Whiskers is pulling a fast one on us. He's showing himself deliberately to lead us where he wants us to go. We're being decoyed.
Eminently probable.
Okay. Now that we know what he's doing, we'll keep our eyes open. But I'm still in favor of giving him a chase.
Me too, long time, but let's be more careful.
Agreed.
Yeah. He's careful not to let us lose his trail. He's obviously leading us to some spot he wants us to visit.
Strange way for him to act.
No stranger than his warning us that bomb was in our plane.
Just going to get my hands on him. He'll tell things.
You said it. And the first thing he'll explain would be just what turned that aviator into a skeleton so fast.
I say, look up ahead. He's halted.
Yeah, and he's got a finger to his lips and patting the air with his other hand.
Seems to be asking us to be quiet and careful.
Now he's going into the jungle.
Perhaps he's...
Oh!
Rennie, fire around in that mess of mangroves. You got it! He'll be unconscious before we can get to him.
That was one of Santini's gang. I recognize the voice.
I'll say you sound awful, Johnny. Those cracked ribs bothering you?
No.
That's a dang lie. You're about played out. Blast it. You ought to be in a hospital. You stay behind us. There he is.
Yeah, he's out. He's not hurt bad.
Let's see where he was headed.
We're almost to the beach. Say, you smell anything?
Yeah, Long Tom. Smells like gasoline. Holy cow, look! A seaplane beached right on the shore.
Covered with palm fronds and boughs to camouflage.
That's why we didn't see it from the air.
Look, over there. A hut with the roof camouflaged with thatching.
And 3 of Santini's men.
Guards.
A round of mercy bullets will put 'em out soon enough. That did it.
Come on. Wait a moment, fellas. I seem to be folding up.
Huh?
I'll be super amalgamated.
Johnny's broken ribs must be worse than he thought.
Right. Pick him up and bring him along.
Let's go.
You wait here with Johnny. I'll climb through the palm fronds and look around inside. Well, I'm a son of a gun.
What is it, Long Tom?
Well, come in here and look.
Holy cow, the wings are all torn up.
Yeah, the fuel tanks show empty on the gauges. That's why we smelled gasoline.
Looks like they were slashed with something like a small axe.
Pretty good job of vandalism. Wonder who did it.
You gentlemen did a good job there, but your work isn't done yet.
London, just let me get one shot.
Wait. Now, Santini's gotten a hold of your boss, Doc Savage.
What?
You better help, Savage. Just tag along behind me, and I'll show you what to do.
Wait!
No use, Rennie. He's already gone.
Well, come on. Let's follow him.
Say, do I get any attention here or not?
That's Pat.
In the hut?
Pat, are you all right?
Except for this piece of piano wire tied around my waist, I'm okay, I guess.
Yeah, you're tied to the back brace of the hut.
Let me out that wire.
Now you'll need pliers. They tied it with pinchers. I've been twisting it and kinking and unkinking it for hours with no
I
luck.
got some pliers in my knapsack.
You all right, Pat?
I am madder than a tomcat caught in a rat trap. Hey, what was it I heard that old whiskered goat yelling about, Doc?
Something about Santini having gotten him, but I don't believe it. Doc has never been in a jam yet where he didn't have an ace up his sleeve.
Did Santini ever find out you weren't Kel Avery?
Oh, no, Long Tom. I wouldn't be here if they had. They'd have thrown me out of the plane if they'd known who I was. They very nearly did it anyway.
They probably kept you alive in hopes of making you tell them where the contents of that parcel went to.
That's right.
Where did it go?
You think I know? Ask that other girl, that Kel Avery or Maureen Darling or whatever she calls herself.
You don't seem to like her.
I don't like anybody who got me into what I've just gone through.
I thought you wanted to be amused by a little excitement.
This has gone past the amusement stage.
Ah, there.
Oh, thanks, Rennie. Let's see if anything really has happened to Doc.
Hey, look, down the beach.
It's Sundin.
Hey, you! Come here and tell us what this is all about.
Here's your answer. He disappeared into the jungle.
Now, for 2 cents, I'd shoot him full of good hard lead the next time he shows his nose.
I wouldn't, Long Tom.
Why not?
He's on our side. At least until we clean up on Santini's outfit.
Well, where'd you learn that?
From Santini's talk.
Well, if Thunden is going to lead us to Doc, we better get to following him.
All right, Rennie. You got Johnny?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
You suppose Thunden's going to keep in sight so we can follow him?
I think so. Look, there he is up ahead. Yeah, he's leading us, just like before.
Right toward that rocky area near the center of the key.
Pat, did Santini's talk tell you anything else?
Plenty. And it is the most fantastic story you ever heard. This Dan Thunden was shipwrecked here in 1843, more than 90 years ago. He was the only one from his ship to reach shore, and he's lived here ever since.
I've still got my doubts about that guy being 131 years old.
Santini doesn't seem to doubt it, and he's nobody's sucker.
What else did you learn?
Santini found this island by accident. He was flying from South America in a stolen plane. He'd gotten into some trouble down there over killing a government official in Venezuela. He was making for the United States after leading everyone to believe he was flying south.
That makes sense. He wouldn't be able to take the usual air routes or fly over islands where there were settlements and radio. That'd explain why he happened to come over such an out-of-the-way corner of the Caribbean as this.
Right. He had motor trouble and landed here on Fear Keys.
Oh, then what?
Then the mystery darkened. He found Dan Thunden and something else. Something worth a great deal of money.
What?
Search me.
Pat, you mean to say you don't know yet what all this fighting is over?
No, Rennie. I tried to pump Santini, but got nowhere. They were very glad to learn that I didn't know what was behind the trouble, and I had to be very careful not to let them discover that I wasn't Kel Avery.
So Santini and his gang came back to Fear Key to get more of the stuff which was supposed to be in that mail parcel, but wasn't. That it?
Right. Santini's crowd shot down Dan Thunden's plane when it arrived and killed the pilot. Since then, they've been trying to catch Thunden to make him show them where the thing they're after is hidden.
Santini killed the pilot?
Yes, Long Tom. Why?
Well, when we found the pilot, he was a skeleton.
Oh, that reminds me. There is some horror on this island of which Santini and his men are in deadly terror. They wouldn't tell me what it is.
There's such a bare rock ahead where we heard the shot.
I heard Santini and his men talk about this place. It's honeycombed underground with caves. It was here that Dan Thunden lived for more than 90 years. Santini and his gang thought the stuff, whatever it is they're searching for, was hidden here.
Oh, get your super machine pistol ready, Rennie.
Right.
Be careful. From Santini's talk, I think this place is a nest of traps. Dan Thunden rigged them up as a diversion when he lived here.
Some pastime.
Oh, come on.
Step on that square of reddish rock to your right.
It's Thunden.
That'll open the trap door.
Oh, go ahead, Rennie. Stamp.
Wait a minute.
What are you doing?
The old goat said to stamp, not stoop down and inspect it.
Dry up. I'm gonna get even with old White Whiskers for his little tricks. Now.
You're not stamping on the stone. You're too far to the side.
I know what I'm doing.
It don't work.
Try it again, sir.
Rennie, you're still too far to the side.
Something's gone wrong. I can't get it open. Look, Thunden, we'll get over to the other side of the place while you come and open it.
Come on, over there. I want him by that trap door.
Why?
Watch.
I told you to stamp.
Say, he did it. The huge trap door opened.
Yes, but look at Thunden.
He's passing out, falling down right by the trap door.
My God. He looks dead.
Has Dan Thunden fallen victim to the mysterious force that turns men into skeletons? Will Santini succeed in obtaining the fabulous secret of Fear Key? And what has happened to Doc Savage and Kel Avery, trapped in the pit deep underground? Don't miss The Mysterious Weeds, Chapter 6 of Fear Key, next time on The Adventures of Doc Savage. Fear Key was written by Lester Dent and adapted for radio by Roger Rittner. Featured in the cast were Daniel Chodos, Kimmett Mustin, Bill Ratner, Scott McKenna, Robin Riker, Marcia Kramer, Michael McConaughey, Douglas Kohler, and William Irwin. Also heard were Glenn Shaddix and Bob Wine. Sound effects were created by David Surtees, assisted by Jerry Williams. Production assistance by Samantha Kimmel and Doris Christie. Engineering by Denny King. The Adventures of Doc Savage is produced and directed by Roger Rittner and is a presentation of the Variety Arts Radio Theater.
Holy cow, they're coming this way.
Hey, it's Morris Savage's crew. Seize it.
We gotta make a fight of it, guys.
What's Santini doing?
He's pulling the lever.
Look out! It's a trap!
got us up against the wall.
We shoot somebody, Rennie.
It's no good. They've got us.
Here comes Monk Mayfair, the ape-like chemist.
Lasers!
Ham Brooks, the sword-wielding lawyer.
Take that.
Rennie Renwick, the two-fisted engineer.
Holy cow!
Long Tom Roberts, the adventurous electrical genius.
Pipe down, you guys.
Johnny Littlejohn, the fighting archaeologist.
I'll be super amalgamated.
And their leader, the greatest adventure hero of the 1930s, the man of bronze, Doc Savage. The Variety Arts Radio Theater, by special arrangement with Condé Nast Publications, presents The Adventures of Doc Savage, a new series of radio adventures based on the novels by Lester Dent. Today, The Mysterious Weeds, Chapter 6 of the fantastic story, Fear Key. Doc Savage and his crew have trailed the Fountain of Youth gang to Fear Key, a remote island in the Caribbean, trying to discover the fabulous secret material the gang is attempting to steal from old Dan Thunden. As Doc and Kel Avery attempt to learn about the island's horrible presence that turns men into skeletons, they are captured by Santini, the leader of the gang. Meanwhile, Rennie, Johnny, and Long Tom rescued Doc's cousin Pat Savage from Santini's guards and then follow old Dan Thunden into the jungle in hopes of discovering the whereabouts of Doc and Kel Avery. Thunden leads them to a secret trapdoor in the rocks and is tricked by Rennie into opening the trap himself. But just as the door springs upward, Dan Thunden collapses on the rocks.
He's passing out, falling down right by the trap door.
Oh, my God. He looks dead.
Why, he isn't dead. He's just sleeping.
He's been knocked out. Rennie, what do you do?
Look around the edge of the trapdoor, Pat.
Particles of glass, like a small light bulb had broken.
Doc's anesthetic bulb?
Right, Long Tom. When I was bending down pretending to examine the trapdoor, I put some of them around the edge of the slab. When the lid opened, they broke.
And since the gas produces instant unconsciousness, Thunden passed out before he had a chance to escape back into the jungle.
So, the old goat wasn't so wise after all. Boy, when he wakes up, will his face be red.
What's going on out there?
Quick, Rennie, pretend you're one of the gang.
We got old Dan Thunden. Come up and have a look. Yeah? Who are you?
Tell him Snicker. That's the name of one of the gang who was watching me.
Snicker! Down here where I get a look at you. I gotta be sure it's you, Snicker.
We gotta do something. He'll get suspicious pretty soon.
Wait, I've got some anesthetic bulbs left. I'll lob them down into the holes.
Yeah, okay. Here I come.
That did it. Come on.
Take his machine gun, Rennie, and that ammo sack.
Right.
What impends now?
This is no place for you, Johnny. The going will be too rough for those banged-up ribs of yours.
That is regrettably true.
You better stick here on guard. You can watch Thunden and the other guy.
They'll be unconscious for at least an hour. But I'll stay here.
Sure you won't pass out?
Positive.
Okay. Keep your super machine pistol handy. You never know when one of Santini's mob may show up.
Indeed. And I have a pocket full of anesthetic bulbs also.
Okay. Rennie, Pat, let's go.
Careful. There is something on this key that can turn a man into a skeleton. Whatever the thing is, Santini and his men are in deadly fear of it.
We know, Pat. We've seen a sample of its work on the flyer who brought Dan Thunden here.
What's that?
I don't know. Sounds like bacon frying.
Doesn't seem to be coming any closer. Let's keep going.
Long Tom?
What are you wiping on the walls?
One of Doc's chemical mixtures.
I don't see anything.
It's invisible unless subjected to ultraviolet light. I've got a flashlight similar to Rennie's, except that it gives off black light. It'll make the stuff glow so we can find our way back if necessary.
And in a hurry if necessary.
Hold it. Get that.
Poison. And look, light.
Douse that flashlight, Rennie. Come on. Quietly.
Holy God. Look, Doc.
And there's Cal Avery.
So they did get him after all.
Wow. They've got Doc tied up with so much rope. He looks like a mummy.
And they're really staying away from him. Guess they're not taking any chances.
Here comes Santini. Listen.
Probably wondering why we did not shoot you when we had the chance, Senor Savage. You were kept alive to do a bit of work for us. And if you do it well, we will permit you to live.
Yeah, maybe.
There is something on this island which is worth many millions of dollars, Senor Savage. It grows here. But we do not know what it looks like when it grows. We've only seen it after it has been dried and treated. This material is hidden somewhere, and only Dana Thunder knows of the hiding place.
And he won't tell you.
Unfortunately, no. When we visited this island the first time, we learned of this thing, and arranged with the Thunder to sell it to those who could afford to pay us millions of dollars for it. We went to New York and made a contact with a number of wealthy men.
The names and the files of the Fountain of Youth office.
Exactly, Senor Savage. Well, they were very anxious to buy what we had to sell, and to pay a handsome price. It was then that we decided to get rid of that Thunder. That may have been a mistake. He found out our intentions and seized the box containing our entire supply of this fabulously valuable substance.
Yes?
The older man had very little money, but he hit on the idea of persuading a relative, Miss Avery here, to finance him in selling the material. He sent the box to Miss Avery and arranged a rendezvous in Florida, which we were fortunate enough to prevent him from keeping.
So you tried to kidnap the girl and get the box, but you failed and she became alarmed. She decided to call upon me for aid. You tried to seize me before she got to New York.
An accurate summation. Now, for our proposition. We want your aid. We will trade the safety of you and your party, including Miss Avery, for your help.
And how do you suppose I can help you, Santini?
I know something of your ability. You will notice that we keep our flashlights off your eyes. This is because we know you are a skilled hypnotist. You can hypnotize Dan Thunder and make him tell where this, shall we say, treasure is hidden.
But you haven't got Dan Thunder.
Oh, we will get him. Leaking. Shorty, go get the Thunder. No!
Right, boss.
Holy cow, they're coming this way.
Hey, it's more of Savage's crew. Seize it!
We gotta make a fight of it, guys.
We got him going.
Hey! What's Santini doing?
He's pulling lever.
Look out! It's a trap! A net!
Holy cow!
It's got us up against the wall.
We shoot somebody, ready?
It's no good. They've got us.
Knocking him out, men.
No!
They're out, boys.
When? Now, quick. Go see if they left a guard at the entrance.
Johnny, what are you doing here?
Ham, Monk, I couldn't proceed with my damaged rib cage, so they left me on guard.
What's going on? We heard shooting.
I know, Monk. I heard it too, in the labyrinthine spaces beneath here.
You mean the island has caves underneath it?
Yes, Ham. Santini and his cohorts are occupying them. Rennie, Longtime, and Pat are exploring, trying to find Doc and Kel Avery.
Pat! You mean you found her?
Indubitably.
But you say they got Doc.
Undeniably.
What happened to Thunder here?
Rennie rendered him unconscious with one of Doc's anesthetic bulbs. Say, where's DeClima?
Back at the plane.
Hey, listen. Somebody's coming this way through the cave.
Maybe it's Rennie.
Maybe Santini and his gang.
There they are.
It is.
Let him have it. Let's get out of here.
Johnny,
Not without assistance.
I'll carry.
come on!
they gave up the chase. Conjecture that once they gained possession of Dan Funden, their interest in us waned.
And let's stop for a minute. Even as thin as you are, Johnny, you're still a load to haul.
You sure came out on the short end of that bit of gunplay, you hairy ape.
Shyster, if you throw away that sword cane and use a gun, we'd have better luck.
How can I find anybody to shoot at when you're always charging into the fray?
Never mind. Now, Johnny, what's been going on? Hey, Johnny, you all right?
Well, I'll be super amalgamated.
What you doing down on the ground?
Look at this.
Just a funny-looking weed.
Weed. Neither of you ever saw flora of this type before.
So what?
Monk, Ham, I invite you to examine the confines of this area of vegetation.
Huh?
He said look around this patch of green.
Somebody's garden patch.
I suspect it's far more than that. I think I'll take some of these weeds for future study. They're very strange.
Not half as strange as some of the other things on this island. For instance, what is it that's making people into skeletons? And what's Santinia?
Good question.
Yeah, and we won't find the answer in this patch of crabgrass. Let's get back to the plane.
Here's the plane. Ham, I thought you indicated that the Klima was awaiting us here.
He was. The Klima!
Laces. He had orders to stick right here. Something's happened.
Well, I'll be super amalgamated. Look over here.
The Klima!
Yo! Look at that knot on his noggin.
Someone really slugged him a good one, all right. He's coming out of it. The Klima, what happened?
Oh, for you feller, I stand around and listen. Yes. And then all of a sudden, the top of my head should go bang like a firecracker on the 4th of July.
Then what?
How do I know? The world she kind of stopped for to go around there.
Somebody sneaked up behind and kissed your bean with a gun barrel or something, huh?
Maybe. I no see the soul. Not a soul. But show me the damn fellow would do this to the Klima, and I tear from him the arm and leg. Yes.
You sure do talk, big boy. But in action, you ain't been so hot.
What do you mean by that? The insult, no?
Don't mind the missing leg, the Klima. He fell out of his nest when he was little.
I might have known this fella. He born in a nest in a tree, like the monkey.
Stop it. This is no time for character assassination. What are we going to do now?
Take the plane and try to spot Santini's men.
Right. Come on. Wait a minute, fellas.
What is it?
We ain't going nowhere.
Why not?
Because if you'll take a gander at the motors of the plane, you may notice that the carburetors are missing.
So that's what Santini's men came here for.
Well, now what?
Well, obviously, the wisest course is to return to the rocky area.
What then?
I haven't an inkling. But if Santini and his henchmen took the vital parts of our motors, they no doubt removed them to the caverns.
Makes sense.
Okay, we'll pack some equipment and head for the rocky area.
May I suggest that we traverse the slightly circuitous route via the beach? It would be easier, particularly considering the condition of my rib cage. I'm not equal to much more jungle.
Good idea, Johnny. It'll probably be faster going anyway.
Okay, let's pack up and head out.
How much farther this rocky area should be?
Not a great deal, De Klima.
Boy, Shyster, are you gonna suffer for that crack about me falling out of the nest?
Listen, you refugee from a monkey house.
I say, look. Where? There. Adjacent to that outgrowth of jungle.
I see. Bits of timber sticking out of the sand.
Just an old wrecked ship.
Not quite, Monk. I want to investigate. It's the frame of a ship. Not a large vessel. Once carved in elaborate fashion.
What are we killing time here for? It's just a weather-beaten old hulk.
Did you ever see a Roman galley, Monk?
Blazes, no. I'm not 2,000 years old.
Well, this was once a Roman galley. I'm sure of it.
Roman galley? How did it get here on this side of the Atlantic?
Drifted, perhaps.
Nix. Ocean currents are wrong for that.
And possibly it had sails which were set, and the wind blew it across. It's not impossible.
Ham may be correct. This key is on the outskirts of the Caribbean. A craft flown across the Atlantic might conceivably have landed here, or been wrecked, as this one undoubtedly was.
Okay, so it came across the Atlantic and piled up here. I don't see why all the excitement.
I have an astounding theory, but perhaps we should go into that later.
Yeah, we still have Doc, Kel, Avery, and the others to worry about.
And that rocky area is just inland from here. Shall we hit the jungle?
Right. gonna be hard to get close to that trap door without being hurt.
Yes, but we must. It's just beyond this growth of mangroves.
Hold it. Let me take a gander with the telescope before we barge in there. No sign of life. No sign of any trap doors. Looks like one solid mass of rock.
Johnny, can you find any of the trap doors?
I don't know, Ham. I can try.
Come on, then. Keep your super machine pistols ready.
Don't hear nothing.
That could be good or bad.
Hey!
What is it?
Me, I find the hole. I hit it with the hand.
Say, pal, shake!
What for?
You finally performed a useful service.
Well, do we enter?
I'll say. Get us your flashlight and follow me. Nice place, this.
Pipe down.
Look! There!
Blazes, DeCleaver. You want to bust our eardrums?
A man, I see him. Him see me. That guy Santini, I think it was.
Well, if it was, it's going to be tough from now on.
I think I have an idea.
Yes, I said what?
Let's use the light spot cartridges.
Say, you are bright.
Oh, what's that? Light spot cartridges?
It's a special shell Doc came up with to fit in our super machine pistol.
They burn with a brilliant white light whenever they strike.
An intricate mixture of thermite and magnesium.
Let's alternate light spot cartridges with mercy bullets. 5 of each.
An effective combination.
Loaded?
Indeed.
Okay, let's go. Look, some of Santini's men.
Let him have the spot.
Blazes.
Something's wrong. These ammo drums are dud.
When those birds got into the plane, they must have ducked the bullets.
Rush it in! There's too many of them.
That's the way we came. DeCleaver, retreat. Dang it, run!
He's not moving. Seize them! Seize them!
Oh. Blast. I'm paralyzed.
You ought to be, you missing link. But you're just tied up like the rest of us.
Shyster. Boy, that ain't got you roped.
No more than Doc. Look.
Yeah, nothing showing but your head and feet, Doc. They don't take many chances, do they?
Are you all right?
I've always said Monk's skull was thick.
Everybody else is here, too. Johnny, Long Tom, Rennie.
And Pat, Kel Avery, and DeClemus.
Hey, they even got old Dan Thunder.
He's still out from the effects of the anesthetic gas.
Well, what now?
I think the answer to that is coming in right now.
Well. It is a big reunion, senores?
In your hat, Santini.
Oh, this is a joyful occasion for me. This is what I wait for. Not only do I have the fabulous Doc Savage a prisoner, so he will not interfere with my search for the weeds, but I also have the old Dan Thunder who can tell me where the weeds are.
If he ever does.
Oh, he will, senor. That I can guarantee you. Take the old man to somewhere and make him answer a question.
You're right, boss.
Perhaps it is also best to separate the rest of you, so you do not plot anything to foil our plans. Take Savage and Avery girl to another king, but be sure not to go near that door with the secret lock. We do not want our friends here to turn into skeletons. At least, not yet.
Has Doc finally met his match in the evil Santini? Will Dan Thunden reveal the whereabouts of the secret cache of the valuable weeds? And what will happen when Santini exposes Doc and his crew to the mysterious power that turns men to skeletons? Don't miss The Crawling Terror, the 7th and final chapter of Fear Key, next time on The Adventures of Doc Savage. Fear Key was written by Lester Dent and adapted for radio by Roger Rittner. Featured in the cast were Daniel Chodos, Robert Towers, Art Dutch, Bill Ratner, Kimmett Mustin, Scott McKenna, Robin Riker, Bob Farley, and Michael McConaughey. Also heard were Douglas Kohler and Bob Lyne. The sound effects were created by David Surtees, assisted by Jerry Williams. Production assistance by Samantha Kimmel and Doris Christie. Engineering by Denny King. The Adventures of Doc Savage is produced and directed by Roger Rittner and is a presentation of the Variety Arts Radio Theater.
Holy cow. Look at the floor.
It's coming to life. Flowing over Thunden's body.
It's covering him completely.
Here comes Monk Mayfair, the ape-like chemist.
Blazes!
Ham Brooks, the sword-wielding lawyer.
Take that!
Rennie Renwick, the two-fisted engineer.
Holy cow!
Long Tom Roberts, the adventurous electrical genius.
Pipe down, you guys.
Johnny Littlejohn, the fighting archaeologist.
I'll be super amalgamated.
And their leader, the greatest adventure hero of the 1930s, the man of bronze, Doc Savage. The Variety Arts Radio Theater, by special arrangement with Condé Nast Publications, presents The Adventures of Doc Savage, a new series of radio adventures based on the novels by Lester Dent. Today, The Crawling Terror, Chapter 7 of the fantastic story, Fear Key. Doc Savage and his crew, on the remote Caribbean island of Fear Key, have been captured by the evil Santini and his Fountain of Youth gang. The gang has also apprehended old Dan Thunden, the man who claims to be 131 years old and holds the secret to the whereabouts of the fabulous substance Santini seeks. A substance wealthy men throughout the world are willing to pay $1 million each to obtain. Still, a mystery is the source of the fearful presence that instantly turns men into skeletons. Doc, his 5 aides, Pat Savage, and Kel Avery, and her bodyguard, DeClima, sit securely bound in the underground caverns of Fear Key as Santini gloats over his captives.
This is the joyful occasion for me. This is what I waited for. Not only do I have the fabulous Doc Savage a prisoner, so he will not interfere with my search for the weeds, but I also have the old Dan Thunden who can tell me where the weeds are.
If he ever does.
Oh, he will, senor. That I can guarantee you. Take the old man somewhere and make him answer our questions. And be sure not to go near that door with the secret lock. We do not want our friends here to turn into skeletons. At least, not yet.
That don't sound good, Doc.
Silence! Perhaps it is best to separate you so you do not spoil anything. Shorty, Leaky, take a Savage and the Avery girl to another cave and watch the bronze man closely. If he does anything the least suspicious, shoot him.
Right, boys.
I sure hope Doc has some plan to get us out of this.
I don't see what Doc can do. They searched him and he's tied up with so much rope he looks like a mummy.
Losing faith in Doc?
Brother, he's the only hope we've got.
Monkey, this guy weighs a ton.
Pipe down, Shorty.
Where are we taking these two?
Just around the corner to that little cave. This here cave's only got one entrance. It'll be a good place to keep a watch on it. Okay, you guys can beat it. Shorty and me will watch these two.
Don't we keep the lanterns on them?
Nix, Santini says the bronze guy can hypnotize you with his eyes. Now, I ain't taking no chances. Point the lanterns past him. And then we'll keep watch over by the corner so he can't jump us.
What can we do?
Wait.
Shorty, Leaky, come here.
But boss, we'll want
Got it. Come here, I said. He will not escape any minute I need you.
Okay, boss. Come on, Shorty.
Quickly, Miss Avery. It won't take them long to discover the trick.
What trick?
That Santini didn't really call.
But I heard...
That was merely a little bit of ventriloquism.
But it sounded just like him.
No time. Unzip my boots.
Unzip... Oh, I see. Your boots don't have laces?
Yes. Slide around so you can unzip them.
I'll try.
Can you reach them?
I think so. There.
Good. Let me kick them off.
Your socks? The ends of them are missing.
Yes. Straps around my instep keep them on while my toes are left uncovered in such emergencies as this. Now, get out of the way. I'm going to double over and try to untie the ropes.
With your toes?
Of course.
On top of everything else, you're a contortionist.
Comes in handy sometimes. There. Now, quickly. I'll untie enough of your rope so you can get free. Then meet me down the corridor quietly. I've got to get those two men before they discover my trick.
All right.
Hey, Leaky. The boss ain't here.
Yeah. Hey, boss, where'd you go?
I hope your heads are still hard.
Oh.
Mr. Savage, what happened to them?
They won't be out long. Come on, Miss Avery, back to the main cavern.
Are we going to rescue your men?
Not yet. An attempt to free them would surely mean a fight. That would be noise and an alarm. First, I want to find Dan Thunder.
Here's the main cave.
Yes. Everyone's still here, including Pat and your bodyguard, Declina. And a number of Santini's men are watching them.
They took Dan Thunden off that way.
Yes. We can slip by without being seen. Quiet now.
Oh, that sounds like Mr. Thunden.
It came from that direction. Let's take a look.
My God! Santini's torturing him, tearing out his fingernails.
That is all of the fingernails, Senora Thunden. Shall we try an eye next?
No, not that. What do you want to know?
I suppose you have no idea.
Oh, all right, Santini. The weeds are in a secret storeroom, just the other side of the wooden door.
What? You mean that we have to take a chance with those...
With my little friends, yes. And I do hope you have an accident.
How do we get into the storeroom?
Can you walk on stilts?
None.
Then I don't give a hoot how you do it.
How is the storeroom door open?
There's a black ledge in the rock. You jam your weight against that.
Very well. I shall get some of my men, and we shall try it. Watch him closely. I shall return in a moment.
Mr. Savage, are you going to rescue Thunden?
No, Miss Avery. He's safe for the moment. But I want to get to that storeroom before Santini does. Come on.
Santini seemed nervous about going into the storeroom. Are you sure we should try it?
We must.
But whatever it is that turns men to skeletons must be in there.
There is that possibility. We'll have to see that when we get there. Well, there's a bit of luck.
What?
There on the floor. Monk's knapsack. He must have dropped it here when they were captured.
How do you know it's Monk?
His compact portable laboratory inside makes its shape very distinctive. It also furnishes us with the chemicals and apparatus we need.
Need for what?
No time for that now. The storeroom is just around the bend. Come on. Here we are.
Now what?
Wait. Let me listen at the door. No sound. Let me try the secret catch.
It's dark as pitch in there.
Monk has a flashlight in his knapsack. There's the black ledge.
Thunden said to push against it.
Yes, but he's rigged a lot of booby traps on this island. I want to find something to...
Someone's coming.
Quick, into that niche in the wall. We won't be seen there.
The one who's always sweating. Leaking.
He came to quite quickly.
He's going to the Black Ledge.
Yes. He obviously overheard Thundon talking, and he's decided to double-cross Santini.
He's throwing his weight against the ledge. Oh, my God! He was cut in half!
Stay here. Very clever. A razor-sharp cleaver, roughly fashioned from the iron part of a sailing ship, rigged on a hardwood arm that flashes outward when pressure is placed upon the stone.
Oh.
Come, Miss Avery. The secret to this mystery lies inside the storeroom. We must go on.
Very well.
Yes, here it is, in all the earthenware jars lining these shelves.
But what is it?
I'll open some.
Leaves, dried and carefully packed. They almost look like tea, but not quite. What are you doing?
Sprinkling a bit of chemical from Monk's knapsack on the leaves.
Someone's coming.
Quick, back into that niche.
Wait, the door is open. Someone has been here. What? What is this?
What is it?
Do you not recognize the decapitated form on the floor, my dear Shorty? It is a leaking. He's tried to pull the crooked deal on us just like a damn Thundon. And now leaking is a fall into one of Thundon's traps. How beautiful!
Hey, boss, is this it?
Oh, let us see. See, this is it. At last, we have the material, and there is nothing here to make us all rich men.
Boss,
see,
you're going to keep your promise, ain't you? Back on Long Island, you said we'd all get some of the wheat when we found the storeroom. Remember?
See, I said it. And later, you can all...
What? Sample the stuff. It's supposed to make a guy feel better right off, ain't it?
It is.
So what's wrong with trying it now?
Very well. We shall try it at once. It must be mixed with water. We will take it back to the main cave and mix up a batch for all of us.
Wow! The stuff that makes you live forever. The real fountain of youth.
Hey, Hans. You got me so roped up I can hardly breathe. How about loosening me up a little, huh?
No chance. You didn't think he really would, did you, you missing link?
Listen, you fashion plate, if I ever get out of this...
Shut up, you two!
We have found it! Buena! We shall all live forever, my men, and we will sell enough of this stuff to make us all millionaires. Come, we shall retire to Dan Thundon's old living quarters and partake of our treasure. Come, all of you!
I don't get this at all. You hear what they said? The crazy dogs seem to think they found something that'll give them everlasting life.
Wait a minute. I get it now. Fountain of Youth Incorporated. Remember the Fountain of Youth that Ponce de Leon hunted for? It was supposed to be somewhere in Florida.
You got as crazy as they are.
The Fountain of Youth could be on this key. Maybe long ago the reef was passable. Canoes came here. The Fountain of Youth might not have been a fountain at all, but that funny-looking weed Santini had. Maybe that plant does bring everlasting life.
Nuts.
Ham is eminently correct, Monk.
Huh?
Remember the wreckage we found that bore a pronounced resemblance to structural segments from an ancient Roman galley?
Has that got something to do with this, John?
It has emphatically. That wrecked galley was the clue that made me think of a legend from history which explains the presence of this weed that brings everlasting life, supposedly.
I still say it's hooey.
Ever hear of Cyrene?
Who?
C-I-R-E-N-E. Cyrene.
Wasn't that a city that grew up about the time of old Egypt and Carthage?
Indeed, Mary. Cyrene stood on a plateau. Its source of wealth was a fabulous medicinal herb known as silphy. Even the coins of Cyrene bore a design of the ruler watching his subjects weighing the remarkable plant.
I remember. Legend gives the herb great powers, claiming it cured every ailment, wounds, even disease.
Correct, Ham. Ships came from all over the world for the herb, and it became extremely high-priced. Eventually, the Romans took over Cyrene and put an enormous tax on silphium. The people of Cyrene were enraged and set about to destroy the herb to rid themselves of the high taxes. In time, silphium became extinct.
I don't believe it.
It's in the history books, damn it. Men have searched for years for sprigs of the plant.
Wait a minute. Only a year or two ago, there was a newspaper story about an Italian doctor who thought he'd discovered some silphium again in Cyrenaica.
Right. It's foolish to think that the people of ancient Cyrene would destroy so valuable a plant. So perhaps they loaded some on a galley and sent it off to an island or another part of the coast. And just suppose that galley got lost and eventually would wind up here on Fear Key.
Sounds possible.
Maybe, but still.
Come on, woman, take him.
Where are you taking the Klima?
None of your business. Come on, you guys. Haul him out of here.
Well, looks like they're going to start knocking us off, one at a time.
Poor the Klima.
Don't worry too much about the Klima.
And this Avery.
Why shouldn't we worry about the Klima, Doc?
I was waiting for them to take him away, Monk. Quick, let me get you out of those ropes.
You figured they take the Klima away? How come?
He's one of them.
Klima is working with Santini? How long have you known that?
Since Santini was tipped so mysteriously that the airmail package was coming to our office in New York, only the Klima had an opportunity to pass that information along.
When the Klima came to me in Florida and offered his services as a bodyguard, Santini had sent him?
Yes, Miss Avery.
Doc, was I right about that silphium from Cyrene?
You were, Johnny. I saw the weed, and it's definitely the highly medicinal species of silphium.
Wait till I get that head to Klima. I knew he was a phony all along. He was responsible for us getting caught.
I found where Santini hid our weapons. Here are your super machine pistols.
Some of the ammo drums were duds, Doc. I bet the Klima was responsible for that, too.
Undoubtedly.
There's just one thing that ain't cleared up. What's turning men into skeletons on this island?
That'll have to wait.
You know what it is?
Yes, but right now we've got to get out of here. And that means packing the cave where Santini and his men are.
Let's hope they're quaffing their elixirs slowly.
I don't think they are, Sonny. Here they come.
They have it loose! Shoot again!
Head for cover. I couldn't find them. Santini didn't put them with the rest of our weapons.
Hey, Paul, how about using those glass balls on them? The Klima says you can hold your breath till the gas loses its punch.
That's the faster! Bring it in to me!
God damn the Klima! If I could have one wish before I kick off, it would be get that bird in my hand.
Everyone, I agree with you.
Doc, I'm in favor of arresting him. Let's go out with fireworks.
Wait, Rennie, there may be a better way.
Blazes, you think there's another way out?
No, Monk, we won't even waste time hunting for one.
Then what?
Just wait. Let's see what happens.
Say, Paul, I don't feel so good.
Senors, do you feel strange?
But, Jim, we...
Come on.
Out there? Doc, we'll get killed.
I don't think so.
Holy cow.
They're out cold.
I've seen lots of unexpected things, but this comes nearer to magic than anything else.
What happened to them?
It's the silphium tea they drank.
Huh? Is it poison?
Not that I know of, Monk, but I put a powerful narcotic from your chemical knapsack into some of the silphium containers.
You drugged them.
Indirectly, yes. Now, let's get out of here.
We've still got to find the parts they took off our plane.
Even if we don't find them, we could repair the fuel tanks in Santini's plane and ship the gas from our ship. I suppose Dan Thunden punctured Santini's tanks.
Son, I forgot all about the old goat. What became of him?
There's her answer. That explosion shook the whole island.
It came from one of the entrances.
Thunden was tied up last I saw him. He must have gotten loose. He's tremendously strong.
A living example of how effective this fountain of youth is.
Look, there!
Thunden.
I've got Santini's grenade. I close one entrance, and I'll get the other one after I let my little friends loose. When I open up the place again, there won't be nothing left of you but bones.
After him!
Where's he heading for, Doc?
There's a heavy wooden door that shuts off part of the cavern. Seems to be making for that.
What's behind the door?
The things that made that skeleton we found on the beach and turned Hallett into one like...
That old
adventure. If we don't head him off, he'll assume us here and turn loose whatever's behind that door.
There's the door ahead. Thunder's just opening it up.
Blazes! He's on stilts!
Yes, that'll make sense.
Look, he can't keep his balance running so fast. He's falling off the stilts.
Holy cow. Look at that floor.
It's coming to life. Rising up and flowing over Thunder's body like a brown blanket.
He can't get away from it.
It's covering him completely.
My God, it's eating away his flesh.
He's turning into a skeleton.
Can't we do something?
It's too late to help him. We've got to save ourselves. Run! Which way? The entrance on the stone slab should still be open. Head for that.
There it is.
Everybody, up the ladder.
Stop. What are you doing?
I retrieved one of Santini's grenades. I'm going to seal off the entrance.
What about you?
I'll get out in time. Hurry!
Well, the gas tanks are repaired and the fuel's been transferred. We can leave any time we like.
Aren't we going to try to dig Santini and his gang out?
I suspect there's little left of them but bones, Pat.
What was that thing that flowed over Dan Thunder?
Carnivorous Formicodia.
Use little words for once, will you, Johnny?
Ants. Flesh-eating ants. Millions of them. Right, Doc?
Yes. They're not unknown to science. They evidently used one part of the cavern for their colony. That's why Thunden shut it off at that door.
Well, with them down there, we'll never get at them silphium weeds.
That's not necessary, Monk. We still know where they grow here on the island.
Yes, but they're no fountain of youth, as Santini believes.
Huh?
Silphium is a valuable medicinal herb. It's an amazingly effective antiseptic and tonic, and may even prevent disease. But it does not prolong life.
But Dan Thunden was 131 years old.
I suspect his longevity was due to basically perfect health and the fact that, as an exile on this island, he was kept away from the distractions and dissipations of what we call civilization.
So, Santini and his men were chasing a dream.
Yes, Pat. A dream that has inspired men for centuries. But when we ultimately do find the secret to extending life, it will undoubtedly be the result of scientific knowledge and not the fountain of youth.
And so, Doc Savage solves the riddle of the mysterious Fear Key and brings back to medical science the fabulous silphium weeds. But even as Doc and his party wing their way back to civilization, half a world away, sinister forces are at work, and Doc Savage will soon find himself caught up in one of the most dangerous adventures of his career. Don't miss The Black Stick, the first chapter of The Thousand-Headed Man, next time on The Adventures of Doc Savage. Fear Key was written by Lester Dent and adapted for radio by Roger Rittner. Featured in the cast were Daniel Chodos, Robert Towers, Art Dutch, Bill Ratner, Kimmett Mustin, Scott McKenna, Robin Riker, Marcia Kramer, Michael McConaughey, William Irwin, Douglas Kohler, and Bob Farley. Also heard was Bob Watts. Sound effects were created by David Surtees, assisted by Jerry Williams. Production assistance by Samantha Kimmel and Doris Christie. Engineering by Denny King. The Adventures of Doc Savvy is produced and directed by Roger Richter and is a presentation of the Variety Arts Radio Theater.